Alrighty then, adventurers. Welcome back to another part 15 of Planeshifters, a Dungeons and Dragons actual play show. It is a wonderful Friday. I'm going to do my best not to cough. I'm still getting over an illness, but I'm doing a lot better now. Still waiting on Ian to drop in. Hello, Kathy. Thank you for joining us today. I am your wonderful and tormenting dungeon master, Justin, aka Total Dumas, because that's the theme. And our heroes, our heroes have been on quite the journey. Last we saw them, they were delving into a nice conversation with the Council of Elturel, led by Rhea. Rhea Mantlemorn. Our heroes went through a complex ritual in order to resurrect Merl. The risk there, though, unfortunately, they had to choose between resurrecting the Archduke or Merl, as resources are tight and the material components they just are in limited supply.
Very expensive.
Our team did decide to resurrect Merle Bronson, the brains of the proverbial team, I guess, as well as the team identified several components between what they've learned, what Rhea's information gathering was able to do, as well as some internal gathering from the team. And so, specifically, I think Merle had learned quite a bit in his afterlife. Apparently, time works differently there.
Who'd have guessed?
So they learned. Yeah, they learned a few different components that were needed to really make this device that would help plane shift all of Elturel. And the list included quite a few different costly materials. One being 3,000 gold pieces or 3,000 pounds of mithril was one of them, which is not easy to come by. They also are going to need a true platinum transformer, an arc light conduit, and of course, because I'm a huge idiot, a flux capacitor.
It's funny.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody thinks so. I'm being a little ridiculous. Our team has had a couple big reveals. If you were watching, you learned from Zorax was pulled into a private office with Rhea, where we had learned that during their previously on one of the holovids, our heroes had heard of a attempted assassination in Elturel. And when Rhea brought in Zorax, we learned that it was not attempted, it was in fact a success. And that Rhea Mantlemorn was put in place by Demir. Our friend Echo was to take up her position as an agent of Demir, as specifically because he had been around the party and Rhea Mantlemorn extensively since Elturel was brought to Ravnica. Yeah, right over there.
Can't fucking believe he just pulls me. As like, you got a plan, right? He's like, no, actually, I was hoping you did. I was like, oh, okay, very good. I'm glad this is where we stand.
That's funny.
That still just cracks me up. I was like, oh, surely the spy master of our group, the man who can shift forms at a will, surely with connections to Demir, he has a plan. He's like, no.
When you have to hide your plan from them, it gets much more complicated.
And I'm like, okay.
Such is a spy's life.
Right. So our heroes have managed to kind of formulate a plan. A short amount of time has passed since Zorax was brought into Rhea's private chambers. You guys meet outside the high hall, or are heading outside the council chambers, and that's where we're going to continue from. Before we get started, let's do a round table. Just say who you're playing, and move on to the next person. We'll start with Will.
Yeah, I am Will. Technically playing Rhea. That's also Echo. It's fun. I love it.
Very good times are had.
No.
That's okay. I got it. It's fine. All right, Matt.
Hi, my name is Matthew, and I play Garmor, the Circle of the Moon Druid. And he has a bit of a problem with changelings. And Echo is a changeling, which does not bode well.
Well,
think.
maybe we need to resolve that at some point, or else things are going to get
Got a lot
worse.
of right conflict.
Okay. Actually, Justin, can you turn that just a smidge?
Yeah.
Down a little bit.
There we go.
There we go.
Turn it down to
Beautiful.
36. Let me know if that's good.
Perfect.
All right.
think it's
good. Next up, Ian.
Well, I'm Ian. I am playing the newly resurrected Merl Bronson. Although, I guess, given the reveal of the last campaign, Jorn may or may not be on the table. We'll see how it all pans out.
I have a character on the side as well, just in case shit flies at me again. You know, just a casual 9th level spell. It's whatever, guys.
All right. Anybody, who's last? Is that Austin?
That'd be me. Hi guys, I'm Austin. Used to be on the Critic Academy podcast. Now I'm just a cool dude. No longer on the
You
Critic
were
Academy podcast.
always a cool dude.
Correlation. And I'm playing Zorax, who is apparently now a co-conspirator for something that needs to get to happen at some point. And he's totally down. Being an evil character, let some stuff slide for the sake of stability.
That's my boy.
Hey, I'm here for you, man.
All right. So, Merl and Garmor, you guys are kind of having a discussion just outside the council chambers, waiting on Zorax. After everything that unfolded, what kind of discussion would you guys be having at that moment?
How are you feeling?
Alive, which is much better than feeling dead, I think. Although recall some stuff in the afterlife was actually kind of awesome, so who knows?
Yeah. So, do you think you can pull it off?
Of course I can pull it off.
The problem is the resources, isn't it?
Oh, always. That's the problem with any sort of science. Or magic. Although I suppose in this case a little bit of both. Not quite the healthiest thing in the world, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, we may have to send you to the Izzet League to get everything sorted, because I assume the Izzet League took possession of your work as a result of your death. No doubt that they know of your passing, and now that you're resurrected, we may have to correct that.
Well, considering that I left, died, came back, and haven't been back yet. We haven't found out yet, one way or another. So the sooner we get back to sort things out, the better.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I
Life is
still
complicated sometimes.
only have one use for that Windwalk spell left, which I may need to force Zorax to resupply myself. Because he's a holy man, as he claims.
Didn't we get like a long rest? So do you really only have one use?
Yeah, it's a it's a material component
Gotcha.
that is required.
Gotcha.
I got like 2
Oh
uses.
right, you need holy water. Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like 2 uses of the darn thing.
Got it. I remember.
And
now.
we already used 1 on the way to the rubble belt.
I remember now. You're right.
So Just so
Basically.
having Zorax resupply to at least one use degree may help us along in that endeavor.
Perhaps.
A loud creaking door, and Zorax walks out of the council chambers, and you can see he's a little. Well, Zorax, what kind of expression does Zorax kind of have on his face as he's coming out of this meeting with Rhea?
So, as we recall, he's a pretty stoic-faced man, and both times he failed, he showed some but he's much more stable now. He's obviously a very conviction-heavy man, so he understands what needs to be done. So he's walking out pretty standardly straight-faced. He's just like, interesting conversation for me meeting with Rhea.
So you approach, you see Merl and Garmore kind of just chit-chatting about what it's like to be dead.
You know, Merl, it's weird seeing your soul get ripped out of the ether.
I can imagine.
I pray it never happens again.
Man, a few words.
Well, I hope the same thing about that self.
Well, in any case, Zorax, can I entrust you to make sure Merle gets plenty of rest? I need to have a private word with Rhea for a few minutes.
Sure. I mean, I'll try and find the chambers for Merle. I'm sure you're still quite exhausted from being, dead. Maybe a couple levels of exhaustion, maybe.
a couple of servants walk up to you. You got this pleasantly plump woman with a bit of a dirty apron. She says, "Oh, excuse me, sir. It sounded like you needed. You're looking for a place of rest. We have some areas." In several of the houses that have been fixed up for council members. If you are most interested, we can get you settled down, a spot of tea, and help you get some rest. Since you were dead, I guess.
Yeah, no, he was very dead.
So I think that we might be able to do that.
Well,
if you want, I can do that for you.
I got plenty of rest now. I was dead, but on the other hand, what's a few more hours of sleep?
Yeah. Did
on
we
the other
decide
hand-
you had levels of exhaustion? I don't.
I'm not
remember.
sure if he actually.
I'm looking up resurrection right now.
Because I actually don't. I know some resurrection stuff does give you levels of exhaustion. I feel.
Yeah,
like.
that's what I'm looking up. And this
Okay.
was
Just let us know.
asking this as the player. This was the 7th level spell resurrection, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So-
Okay. The target takes a -4 penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. Every time the target finishes a long rest, the penalty is reduced by 1 until it disappears.
It's basically exhaustion, just a weird
Yeah.
form of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill you if you get to -6.
You're right. doesn't kill you.
Casting this spell to restore life to a creature that has been dead for. Right.
Well, we know that part. Okay.
Merle,
He actually needs.
your mind is a little muddled a little bit. You do
Yep.
see, black spots kind of flashing in the sides of your vision at the moment. The world is tilt almost as if you got vertigo every few seconds. You get this feeling, and she's kind of looking up at you with her plum-shaped face and says, "Well, sir, I have other chores if you do not need me to assist you to a location for you to stay."
Well,
It would
probably
actually
should
probably be best. I need to talk to another council member anyway.
I didn't take a
Okay.
nap, so checks out. Probably.
All right. Well, why don't you follow me, sir? We'll get you in a nice, cozy bed. thanks to several of the Ravnicans here, especially the insect-looking fellas. We've got lots of soft recycled material for you to use. So why don't you just come with me? Would you like anything to eat? I can make some nice spot of warm tea for you, or maybe some crumpets.
Something quick at least before I crash.
Okay, wonderful,
Figuratively,
wonderful.
not literally.
That's, yeah, we don't want you to do that. So why don't you hold my hand and I'll escort you there so you don't get hurt or anything. I don't want I want to make sure you're taken care of. So let's go ahead and do that then. All right, so yeah, so let's go. And she kind of bows to Zorax and Garmor as she's ushering Merl away. Let's go with Garmor first because he said he was going to go back and talk to Rhea.
Yeah. So Garamor makes his approach to Rhea's door and knocks twice on it. Bum bum.
Come in.
He enters the room and he says, "May I speak with you, Rhea?"
Go ahead and close the door.
He shuts it down. Or shuts it. I wanted to apologize for withholding the information about my past misgivings for changelings. I thought to rectify that mistake by sharing with you that information.
Yes, I might have heard a little bit about it, but go ahead.
So, it began with the fact that I was a part of a druid tribe that lives deep in a sacred and ancient forest that is located near a small market town back in Faerun. My tribe has a sacred duty that lies deep in the forest. There is a mountain range that is located there, but beyond the deepest edges of the forest, is out of bounds for anyone not of the tribe. I hope that you understand that I cannot divulge such information as to what that entails.
I understand.
The trade town is not big as a common city, but it was above average. However, the lord that ruled over the town wanted to expand the territory into the edge of the forest. He sent scouts into the forest to chart the terrain, finding a natural, massive, wide path that was created by migratory animals that occurred in various seasons throughout the year. When they proceeded past the far side of the path, they only were returned unconscious and beaten, found at dawn near the edge of town. This was caused by my fellow druids of the tribe. This was an act to preserve the secrecy of what my tribe does. We did not kill any of them, but I'm sorry, what is going on in private chat?
Don't worry about it. Just keep going.
I'm gonna minimize that. The scouts passed along a message from my fellow druids to the Lord saying that humans weren't to traverse deeper into the forest beyond the natural path, and that they see the path as a border between the two territories, that of my tribe in the forest and that of the town. But such a declaration has upset the Lord greatly, apparently, And so, as response, he hired a mercenary group to amplify security. The scouts and the mercs together didn't cross the natural path, but were immediately met with both druids of various types of circles, those of my capabilities, that of the moon, and those of the shepherds. Though those who once they become strong enough, they can conjure animals with simple ease, without the use of various components. The scouts and the scouts and the mercs met these druids. I was one such druid among them, and the scouts tried to explain their lord's intent of expansion and proposition of a peace treaty. But my tribe has stated that any civilization expansion into the forest would disrupt the migratory animals' direct path to their respective settlements. After a tense standoff caused by the mercs, both parties eventually backed off. Fast forwarding to 3 weeks? One day I was patrolling the path of the forest north and southern ends until I came across a hooded robed figure who was alone. I found it strange. And yet suspicious until the figure was beset by a very old yet sick black bear. The figure was trembled in fear at the sight of the creature, and if I recall, they lost their footing in as they tried to get away, but the creature was almost on top of the figure. I stepped in and managed to charm the bear to the path that would take it to deeper into the forest. Eventually, my fellow druids arrived, and some of them took over that task as the rest of us began to question the mysterious figure. This figure was revealed to be a half-elven woman around my age at the time. She had no magic items on her, no signs she was a spellcaster, no signs of poisons or weapons or even armor on her. As they questioned her, she said that she was a personal servant to the town lord, bearing a message from her master, but also a warning from her personally. It was at that moment that the druid chieftain, an archdruid who leads our tribe, arrived at the scene. At first, we didn't believe the servant. Some of them searched the vicinity for any signs of the mercs or scouts anywhere near the forest, in case she was followed. They found it suspicious that a single servant traversing into the forest on her own with no escort, hence the suspicion and search.
Right.
The servant's warning was that her master's peace talks proposition is legitimate, but it is also a trap. She informed us, the druids, of how sinister her master is, that he bribes town guards and kingdom soldiers to look the other way. There was also a warning about the mercenaries that her master hired. There is something far more sinister about them than her own master. My chieftain saw genuine honesty in the servant's warning and asked why she would do this. The servant said that she would rather have peace with the druids instead of letting the Lord's wishes come true, adding that the expansion of the town in a different direction, making direct trading routes that don't cut through the forest, would be beneficial. However, making a trade route in that direction to a city that is run by a lord who is a member of the Lord's Alliance, an organization founded and run by leaders and lords of favor. You're aware of this, I assume.
Yes. So, with these It's an issue with the changelings, correct?
Yes, I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay.
Trying to find where I left off.
The door slams open,
Hmm?
and Visanya rushes in and says, "I beg my pardon, mistress.
What is this
But we have a
interruption?
I believe that the Rakdos." She's running through some paperwork. She says, "I'm getting reports that the Rakdos have all begun sending. They have sent a party of soldiers to something that is called the Maze of the Shattered Soul. According to our research, and keep in mind it's very limited, they believe that this is where a arc-like phoenix rests its head, and it keeps its nest. The concern is obvious. If it is in fact the resting place of an arc-like phoenix, that is one of the power sources that we need
Exactly.
for the device to get to Elturel. So we have two problems. One, if they get to it first, will we be able to find another? And secondly, why are they trying to get to it before us? Why are they... I'm still waiting for information to come in, but I'm greatly concerned.
Is it possible that they've overheard our conversation about the Arclight Phoenix?
It shouldn't be. That's all only happened inside this room, to my understanding.
And recently, too. For to travel
So
that fast would be
Yes,
nearly
is a
impossible.
problem. And that means one of two things. Somebody is able to spy on us, or we have a traitor in our midst. And she kind of looks up just at this moment, noticing Garmor is there, and she says, "Forgive me, but this is of grave importance. If we are to get home, we can't let them get that.
I
We
understand.
have to do something. Rhea, what should we do?"
Rhea looks at Garmor and says, "We can continue this talk at a later time. We must pursue this."
I understand.
And she motions for her head spy to lead the way out of the room.
I follow after.
So she's flipping through notes as you guys are following. She's giving some updates. She says, "From what I can understand, first of all, 3 of my agents have not reported in, and they're an hour past due.
And
I'm
what
very concerned about this."
do you know where they were?
Yes, they were tracking the whereabouts of all the different components that we would need. One was reporting in from the Simic Combine, the other one from the Izzet, and of course this last one was the one that had sent word to another agent that it was supposed to be tracking down the Rakdos. I have a great concern of this because if they manage to get a hold of one of my agents, there's no telling what information they'll be able to get.
Bring them
While I
in.
trust my agents, they still are just people.
We should send word to bring them back. That information
Call all
is
the agents.
important. We can use other resources and track down these ourselves. Losing agents to be interrogated is a dangerous game here.
I agree. I will put out the call to have them returned. They can be returned inside of 12 hours. By that time, we need to make a decision on our next steps. Because if we miss out on the Arc, retrieving the core of the Arclight Phoenix, then we're going to be forced to track down a Planeswalker. And from our discussion previously, that is probably the farthest idea that we want to. That is probably the worst of the plans.
I
Actually, I have a question for you, Visanya. Remind me, What would have a phoenix be drawn out into the open? A severe storm?
To my understanding, and keep in mind, the details are scarce for us right now, as we're still collecting information, but to my understanding, the phoenix actually nests somewhere deep in a mountain. The mountain is under a perpetual storm, and many believe it's because the Arclight Phoenix nest is there. Thus, they have to go through. You can't just go towards the top and enter in. You're gonna have to go in through what the locals call the Maze of Shattered Souls, which is a defensive measure that leads into the mountain. Apparently, before the Arclight Phoenix had actually taken up residence there, it had at one point been a safe haven for many of the Orzhov members.
The Orzhov Syndicate.
I see. Then my idea may not bear fruit. My idea was to use a powerful spell to conjure a severe storm, but because of the fact that this entire realm is a forsaken city, I know not a safe place to conjure such a storm.
Yes, that would definitely.
We should
An approach.
include the others on this discussion.
Very well.
Visanya says it'll take me 12 hours to recover all of my agents. In that time, I hopefully will have more information that they've gathered since. I would say meet with the shit. What is your guys' party's name?
The council.
never
at least? I mean, we
never
can just
said
call it the
that.
council for now, because I think that's
Okay.
what we called it last session.
We'll regather the council. I know that we just disbanded, but I think that you
Wait, I thought we were the Violet Vindicators.
I think we were.
the what? The Vile Vindicators?
Violet. Violet.
Vindicators? All right, we'll go with that.
Can they
gather
combine
the
the names
council.
of the Crimson Exiles, my Azure Crows?
Oh, that's right, because y'all don't use generators like I do. So you run out of ideas. All right, so she says, I would put out a call for the council and the Violet. I can't even say that with a straight face. The Vindicators, and gather them. I would say that, and if you agree, Rhea, please let me know. I think we should reconvene in the morning. That way we'll have more information. Hopefully my spies will have a bit more information and an idea of where the Rakdos Guild is, who the Rakdos Guilds have sent.
Completely agree. If some of the other spies know of the whereabouts of the ones that we've lost, it could be incredible information for our next mission.
All right, so let's reconvene in the morning then, say at dawn. I think that'll give plenty of time for the newly resurrected Merl to get a bit of recovery. Also allow the Vindicators who just returned to seek out any tools and take a moment of respect before we send them back into the wild.
That is an excellent idea.
So as you guys are walking out, there's Zorax sitting there, having a conversation with his sword. Father, I'm proud of you.
You are? For what?
You have not killed anyone yet this day.
Such a low bar!
I like how they said this day.
Oh.
What was that, Ian?
I like how they said this day.
Oh. Oh, honey.
Oh,
The day's
yeah.
not over yet.
So, are we... So, asking this as the player, are we reconvening right now? Is Garmor still with Rhea?
So right now, you guys are walking. She's Rhea and Garmor and Visaria.
Visanya?
Visanya are walking out, and she's starting to give commands to get stuff done. And Rhea passes on this information to Zorax. So unless there's something else,
Garmo would like to finish his story with Rhea.
well, our show has not got 3 hours, but if
It's
you
not
can
gonna
like
be
shrink
that
it a
long.
little bit, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
but we'll Rhea will accept Garmore's invitation to finish the story in her office in private.
Okay.
So,
Uh,
after much convincing, the servant offered information about regards to details for the trap to my tribe on her days off, but she cannot obtain the secrets of the mercenaries because they have been absolutely secretive even to her master. The logistics of the plan have barely even started, but her master has assigned her as the messenger between the Lord and my tribe. My archdruid chieftain accepts the offer under the conditions that she vows for peace, and we asked for her name, and it was Nora and Fina. I was assigned to secretly escort her from the edge of the forest to the natural path, and vice versa, to retrieve any updates about the meeting for my village. As the months passed, I had been secretly following Nora of her routes, and I started to see her honest intentions, as she has previously stated. I had grown tired of having these skirmishes with the local townsfolk, and the fact that they don't understand me or my people. But she began to be more empathetic of my frustration, and we became close friends as the months passed. When the day of the appointed meeting arrived, a conference building was built at the edge of town before the forest itself, and heated exchanges happened. Past skirmishes, interference with each other's business, hunting and such. Bits of which side did to the other first. My tribe's unwillingness to disclose our secret mission, and the suspicion of the town lord's mercenaries when he has the town soldiers at his beck and call, etc. Eventually, the conference came at a cooler head with both parties. An agreement came to an accord to some extent, but despite the Lord begrudgingly came to the conclusion to expand the town in the direction elsewhere, not towards the forest. However, that was when the mercenaries showed their true colors. They turned out to be changelings of a variety of professions. One was a brute fighter, the other a spellcaster, another was a cutthroat assassin. Fighting broke out, erupted from the conference building itself. The chaos spread into the town. I was ordered by my archdruid to get Nora away from the conflict and get out of there, but one of the mercenaries, a well-trained spearman, engaged us. I tried to fend him off as best I could, but eventually he had me pinned against some local town rubble, and he injured Nora as she fell to the ground on her stomach, and he slowly took his spear and wedged it into her spine as he looked at me with a demented grin. And that was when, but before she succumbed to her wounds, she released some sort of firework. At that moment, my mind began to be a blank. It was then that my powers as a druid to change into an animal manifested. When I came to, the mangled corpse of the changeling was beneath me, and I eventually passed out. When I regained consciousness, it had been days, and I was treated from my wounds by my archdruid, who told me that half a dozen of our own were lost, and 28 civilians were caught in the violence. During the time that after I lost consciousness, members of the Order of the Gauntlet, the Lord's Alliance, and the Emerald Enclave arrived as a combined contingent to assess and investigate the situation. The Order of the Gauntlet were investigating the Lord's illegal actions with the Alliance, while the Emerald Conclave was acting as an intermediary with my tribe and the other two factions.
Garmor, if I may interrupt.
Yes.
Is the reason you are telling me this because you are worried about the changeling that works with you, Echo?
I know he was not involved, as it would be impossible for him to traverse between realms.
That's not exactly what I mean. Are you worried that he's not on our side?
Honestly, I do not know. He vaguely mentioned to Merl and I that the Dimir are the true villains behind this. He has someone he deeply cares for held hostage by the Dimir. I know not of whether he was telling the truth or not. Perhaps my misgivings towards his kind blinds me to see through his honesty. Perhaps, maybe I should give him a chance. And he pulls out the 2 notes that Rhea and Garmor received. Perhaps I should meet him at the assigned location to air things out, to sort things out. Perhaps I
Yes.
should give him a chance on this matter.
Rhea looks at the note real quick and goes, "The Red House. I can make sure that it's cleared out this evening. If he does show up, if I see him, I'll let him know that you want to meet."
Very well. I see. Well, there's more to say at the end of the incident, but perhaps I have said what I needed to say for now.
Okay. Rhea sits down, and you can tell she's thinking very deeply.
And with that, I shall make my leave, Duchess Rhea. And he walks out.
She nods at you and continues her deep thoughts.
He has left the room.
All right. So at this point, everyone is taking a moment to get all their getting prepared for what may come the next morning. I know Zorax is heading out on a quote-unquote walk. Merl Bronson, would he have given a list or any instructions to the servants about things he might need?
Well, let me see. A steak, coffee.
Good options so far.
Coffee! Good list. And Garmore would be seeking out anything for the potential plans for the next morning.
Yeah. Well, I think he would wait, be on standby for the Red House meeting.
Okay. Garmore, go ahead.
Sorry. As Rhea, I'm going to head out to the Red House. The Red House being a place like maybe a small tavern that somehow made it through the jump with us and has not seen its best days since we've shifted into a different plane.
Has
Second time.
Yes.
twice.
She heads inside and finds a couple people sitting at a table talking about the good
Hi,
days.
Duchess Rhea, what brings you to the Red House?
Pardon me, gentlemen, but I need the Red House cleared out for the evening, if you don't mind.
What? We don't get much time off. You're going to take it away from us.
It's
Don't much think I care for that.
not much of a question.
You're ordering us about.
I am sorry
Not
about
sure
it,
how I feel about that either.
but
Should you take over the place of the Archduke, the Grand Duke? But don't you have more important things to be doing?
gentlemen, I have important things to do, and you are interfering with it.
Another guy backhands him and then knocks him on his ass and drags him out the door. He's like,
Fucking better.
sorry, Duchess. After a few drinks, he really lets you know what he thinks.
Well, you certainly saved him from this situation. Thank you.
And he's just kind of nudging and bowing. Give me a. He walks up. He shakes your hand. Give me a contested perception check.
Okay.
You have to beat 21.
Oh gosh. 19.
Your pocket feels a little lighter as this guy's shaking your hands and thanking you, and he pilfers some coins from you.
What an asshole.
Hey, you can't blame him. You just kicked him out.
He is drunk, though.
Zorax, you're meandering down a dark alley. You can see some shadows overcast by the flickering lamp lights on around the newly cleaned up areas, and in the just above you hear a and you see this person in a cloak running down the side of the building from a grappling hook and lands right next to you.
What?
I figured your call sign would have been a bird, but no, I feel that's too much to ask.
What do you want? You called?
I did. This is something that I think a person of your expertise might be able to handle.
Which one? I have a lot. See the grappling hook?
I'm keenly aware. So,
He starts fiddling with it and swinging it a little bit.
I know you like to have an exciting time in your line of work every once in a while, so I have a proposition for you.
Not enough excitement around here. Aliens walking around everywhere. Eh,
Oh, I know you need something a little
No.
more than just some murder. I need you to fail an assassination plot with me.
Wait, what? Fail an assassination plot?
Yeah,
That doesn't sound like fun. Well,
I know.
I guess it could be.
But
How badly does it need to fail? Like, we talking a few broken bones, broken nose?
So here's what needs to happen. And I'm giving you the play-by-play because if it doesn't go this way, it honestly won't. The effect won't work. We're doing this for almost theatrics' sake. And I know
we're
how
putting
much
on
you
a
like
show.
your theatrics.
That's gonna
Exactly.
be
See, there we
wonderful.
go. Okay. I'm
Yes, now
glad we're on the
now
same
on.
page.
Okay.
Okay.
We
So,
can do this.
as you've probably already guessed, maybe, I have a person of your field. And I soul sense everything around me to make sure me and him are clearly the only two.
He kind of looks around. He's like, can't speak for you, but I certainly wasn't followed.
Is there any Demir traps?
Wait, is this who I think it is?
Give me an investigation check.
I know you don't fucking check for traps. I played you.
I knew it. I knew it.
As far as I can tell, looks clear.
You fucking bastard. I'm gonna use one of my shrewd investigator. Oh wow, that did not go super well. It's just a 13. It's just a 13.
Well.
Just a 15.
I don't know about you, but it all looks clear to me. I'm certain I wasn't followed.
Did I see anything when I soul sensed? Besides me and him?
No living souls are in the immediate vicinity. I mean, you can see souls. What is the range of that? I don't remember.
60 feet.
60 feet. So you don't see any souls inside of the 60 feet. Occasionally one passes through and then passes out as if they're like walking down the street. But that's far enough away that in a whisper, nobody should be able to hear you.
Well, Rhea isn't Rhea.
Father, it looks clear.
Thank you, sweetie.
I know we're kind of on the same page, but I prefer if you didn't call me sweetie.
Sorry. Sword talks. Sentience weapons. They're weird.
Yeah,
She could probably talk to you.
You're probably gonna want to keep that one on the down low. You sound like a loony. But anyways, about this show we're gonna put on, I'm super excited for it. Can I use my grappling hook?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. He's flinging it around.
So, again, don't know if you just heard what I said, but Rhea's
What?
not
Yeah,
Rhea.
no, I wasn't. I was looking for traps. I'm sorry.
You
I was
don't
making sure
do
nobody
that.
followed us. What did you say?
Rhea's not Rhea.
Then who is she?
An ally in a tough spot.
That doesn't clear it up at all.
It's Echo.
Who?
He should know of Echo, right?
Does he?
Why
Why
wouldn't
would
he?
Rebuttal, why would he?
Echo's never personally met Rhea, but
Raven, you mean?
information. Raven,
Yeah.
Raven, yeah. Echo's never personally met Raven, but the information of somebody who's been working with Zorax
He
might
kind
have
of
reached.
catches him up to speed, so we can just
Okay.
kind of get past that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So,
That's- yeah.
so he killed your friend. So kudos to Echo for that. Took her place. So that's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm- you're okay with him killing her?
I mean, he didn't do it.
Do you know that? Seems awfully.
Weren't you just on board?
No, I'm totally on board. I'm just making sure we're all swinging from the right rope here.
I should just roll play with him.
That was a good one. I will say that is a good one.
He says, "All right, so okay, so I got this. So we want to fake a death.
Essentially.
And we're gonna put on a show and make everyone think we succeeded, but we're not going to.
Well, so here's the thing. To make this probably work the best is I'm going to gather everybody up because that's what's going to happen anyway. And
Okay.
we're all going to be settling out soon, for sure. As
Okay.
we're about to settle out, I need you to find... That's when you're going to make your move.
Did you hear that? I think somebody was here.
Does he actually think that? Or is he just playing shit? You've been a little
No,
too aloof with me.
I think we're okay. We're good. We're fine.
Okay.
Kind of looks
This is
around
what
his
happens
shoulder.
when you give a character to the DM.
That's okay.
Yeah, honestly, I don't remember all of his personality. I just remembered he was a little bit too.
He was a little
carefree
laid back,
sometimes.
yeah.
So
He
I'm
was a
trying to do
little
it the
laid
best I
back.
can.
Why do you think
anyways.
him and Jorm got along so well?
Oh yeah. They're like, we should take the jewels out of the giant door. Yeah, we should. Oh shit! There's fire everywhere. Nah, I'm fine. I could
be okay.
just fly over. I could just grappling hook or I could run the wall.
So it's still clear. So we're good. You can continue.
Okay. So the idea is that when you go in to attack, in a panic, I'm going to cast Banishment on Rhea, because the way Banishment works is that on a person not native to this plane, they get sent back home. So in theory, Rhea would never come back. Because it's not Rhea, they are going to come back, and Echo has the ability to turn invisible. Therefore, no one can see the person being banished come back. And we need you to play the part of the assassin, so that way, because I know you're skilled enough at your job to make it so you look like you're about to kill somebody, but not actually deal a killing blow if needed.
He holds out his grappling hook. Says, "Yeah, I'm a pretty awesome hooker."
Okay, that was terrible.
So you're going to
I mean-
need to dress up as a Demir as well. We need them to think that
a
somehow
who?
something went wrong.
The Demir, like a specific person. Like
If you know of anybody
what?
to
I mean,
impersonate them,
I look like a Demir dressed in this getup already.
That's
all
good enough.
stocky and creepy, but I think I can handle this. I can certainly put on a different face.
You can certainly try.
I think I could do this. I think this will be fun. So I have one question.
sure.
When your pal Echo comes back and poof and is invisible, what then?
What then?
Well, I can't imagine, and just hear me out. Why I don't care either way, to be honest. But if somebody just disappears and doesn't come back, who's leading all of this? And he kind of just points around, this grappling hook in one hand, all of this.
Well,
You don't think that that's going to cause a little bit of a problem?
well, here's already a problem, Raven. There's no one leading this.
Yes, your friend Echo is,
Yes, but
but everyone else.
Echo's not a
sees
leader.
Echo as long as he's in that position, he seems to be doing a pretty good job.
Echo has other things to do too, man. Just like you would.
Okay, so I guess so once again, not that I give a damn. I don't care either way. Should we plan on putting somebody in her spot, his spot, its spot, their spot? Should we line somebody up to take up the mantle more, as you can say?
Raven, you are always quippy. it's one of your charms. If worst comes to worst, I'm sure one of the Vindicators, including myself, can just rise to the occasion temporarily. At the very least, to calm down the confusion and chaos of everything going on. We already have a plan to get ourselves out of here anyway, and as long as they think Rhea is still alive and has a chance to do anything anyway to communicate with us, maybe it won't be so bad anyway. And there's already a disconnect between here
There's a lot
and
of what
everyone
ifs
else.
there.
There is a lot of what ifs, but we have to get this thing off the ground first before we can even consider any of this.
Okay, so Grand Duke's dead.
Grand Duke's
Ray
dead.
is dead.
Ray is dead.
And one of y'all think you can do the job?
Nope.
Cool, me. Let's do it.
I figured. Let's get it done, buddy.
Let's put on a show. So what time we doing this? What's the timeline like?
Well, let's see. I know Merl needs at least a few days of rest, but given some precarious information, we're having another council meeting tomorrow, and I'm not. Do I know why we're having the council meeting tomorrow, or I just know that we're having it? Oh no, I don't know we're having it, do we?
I would say we would assume that on Garmor's way out, he explained and updated you on the
So I
what's
know
the
that
sitch?
what is it? The Rakdos is what they're.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
the
They're going
Rakdos.
after one of the secret.
It's a race against
ingredients.
time.
So we don't truthfully have a lot of time, but you're an opportunistic man. I'm sure you know when the time is right. And I'm sure you'll notice when everyone's gathered up and everyone's about to leave that I will still be there, I guess. And I will be sure to banish Rhea out of existence.
Okay, let's do this. I'm totally down for this. I'm gonna put on a great show. I'm gonna
That's all
make
I
it
ask.
look real. You know where I can get some tomato juice? We gotta make the blood look real.
Probably in the red. What the fuck was that place called that had the Red Tavern?
Red House.
The Red House.
Appropriate name. I don't know that I've been there. I think Joram got tanked there a couple times. But all right,
I mean,
yeah. So let's do this. I'll see you to when tomorrow. Tomorrow
likely
morning, yeah?
tomorrow is when it's going to happen. Tomorrow
Okay.
morning.
He swings his grappling hook and pulls on it and shoots himself up, and almost in an anti-gravity like way. It's so swift, though I'm pretty sure he has nothing magical. It's just him.
I like
climbing
look
really
around
smoothly.
and I'm like, he's actually gone. How the
It's like
fuck
Batman.
Did he do that?
Everyone just looks away for a second. He's gone, and Raven disappears into the night.
He's gonna die.
Some little like crow feathers fall down because he's Raven the crow.
All right, Echo.
I'm just like, how does he do this?
In
He's just a normal
Zorax, if there's any things you think Zorax needs moving into the next adventure, you can find most mundane equipment and stuff inside of the town. So just add a few things if you're going to spend any money, off of the equipment table. That includes some basic healing potions and whatnot. All right.
I speak to my sword real quick. See, honey, I didn't kill anybody today. What do you know?
Well, I'm very proud of you, but I guess we have to define what today is. Is it a 24-hour period? Does it start between dawn and dusk?
I need to catch some rest, honey.
Rhea, you're sitting, Rhea, you're sitting there. The tavern is empty. Would you have got rid of the servers too, or just the patrons?
I would have completely emptied the place out.
Okay. Garmor, you walk up with, and you notice that.
Oh, and once it's empty, I would wait a minute and then switch to Echo.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Ooh boy.
A 7.
I rolled a 1, so I only got a 5. So, so as you're looking around, the room is empty, and you your eyes dart around. There's shadows dancing off the wall from the candle light, and you see just ever so slightly on one of the windows a bit of puffy mist appear just for a second. It goes in, it grows, it shrinks, it grows, as if somebody is breathing on the window as they're looking through it.
Ooh. Echo keeps a cool head for the moment and does not
No,
change.
this is before you transform.
Yeah, okay, Rhea keeps a cool head then.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's definitely somebody peering in through one of those windows. You draw your eye and you can see a big, bulby, graying bit of hair, and some chunks are missing, and a rough beard. Looks like it could be one of the gentlemen that was giving you a hard time when you entered.
So I can see a person looking in there.
Very, very faintly. It's
Okay.
like looking through a really dirty window, right? You can see now something is there that you're looking for it, but it's easily missed if you weren't.
I, as Rhea, bolt for the door. And is he outside, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I go from sitting perfectly cool in the chair to just a straight sprint for the door to catch him.
You dash out the door and you see him as he's stumbling back and tripping over himself as he looks at you, looks at the window. He blinks, looks at you, looks at the window. He's like, "Wow, that was mighty impressive."
Is it one of the men that was in there?
It is. It's the drunken one that got slapped and knocked unconscious for a second.
I reach down and grab him by the scruff of his...
And what are you doing now?
Lift him up and say, "What are you doing here?" and try to intimidate him.
Give me an intimidation check.
A 16.
Hang on, let me roll this. He kind of stumbles back from you. I don't know, I was just waiting to see when you leave so I go get a drink. You said get out. We did that.
It is closed for the evening.
No, he
home.
points at the door that you left wide open and says, "Nah, I can see that it's open. What are you talking about?"
Rhea looks around for maybe a town guard that's nearby. Does she see one?
You don't. Give me a perception check.
13.
You can't see one, but you can hear the clanking of boots and echoing down one of the nearby alleys off the stone rubble.
I drag him along with me to where the sound of the guard is.
I'm sorry, what? You yell? Or do you go?
No, I drag him along with me to the sound of where the guard is.
All right, so you come around the corner and there's an El Toril guard. You see him in his big shiny breastplate, and he goes, "Duchess, what brings you around these parts?"
This man has been...
Finnegan, what did you do this time?
I gave him the benefit of the doubt when he interrupted me once. Then he interrupted me again, spied on me, refused to listen to me. So you can put him in the jails for a couple days.
He his eyes dart around and goes, "What law did Finnegan break?"
Insubordination.
I would say he disregarded a command from his city's leader. Multiple times.
Okay.
And
not going to toss him in jail for that, but I will give him a stern talking to and send him on his way. How does that sound?
we can
We can't be punishing people when there's real crimes about, you know.
Fine. Put him in holding until we can have a trial.
I could do that. I'm a big fan of the stockades.
He's like, I like that a little bit better personally. It's my favorite part of the job.
I hand him off and said, "Watch your tongue around the leaders of this city."
He says, so he kind of just,
Say something stupid in front of the guard, I dare ya.
he turns and he goes, he says, "Aye, We may both be pain in the asses, but you're boring.
I tell the guard, make sure it's the tighter stocks of the two.
Definitely, I think I can do that. Yeah. So let's get you out of here. And he goes, "What the hell is that smell?" As he's dragging him away. You hear the guard. He's walking away. Damn! The hell did you brush your teeth with? Garbage. Anyways, so he carries him off. You walk back in there. And at this point,
In Echo's mind, he was like, "Whew, that took all of my strength, not to just kill him on
not
this.
to murder him.
Oh,
I was trying to make him as noxious as possible. And as you
you
walk
did a
in,
good job."
as you walk in, Garmore is sitting on a stool at the bar, looking around for anybody. Notice that there's not been much. There's not a lot going on, and you spot him through the window.
Okay, I see him before I enter. Does he see me?
Give me a perception check at disadvantage, Garmore.
Okay, one moment. Setting up skills. Disadvantage, you say?
Yeah. You're kind of engaged with looking around, trying to see where all the cook is and all that shit.
I'm going to use my inspiration finally.
Wouldn't that just make it regular?
Yep. That'll offset the disadvantage.
Okay. Well, should I just re-roll that?
I don't think so.
'Cause the
'Cause
roll
then you
up-
would have just had advantage.
Did you just roll one?
No, I just rolled 2 dice at the same time. So should I re-roll?
Oh,
No, that's fine. Just take the higher.
Okay.
I'm not gonna bust your balls about it.
Okay.
it is
I rolled-
inspiration. It's a good thing to use on it.
All right. I rolled a 28.
Yeah. So, you hear some scuffling outside, and you see a woman walk past the window. Echo. So you spotted him. You don't think he saw you. What does Echo do? God, Justin, you really made this impossible now, didn't you?
Well, considering he's kind of, well, Rhea would be kind of out on a main street. She's gonna try to find maybe a back way into the inn, so that she can enter as Echo, without transforming in front of everybody in the street.
Okay.
And I just saw
so-
the silhouette of a woman, right?
Yeah, you not. It's hard. Remember, it was hard for him to even see through somebody looking out into him or at him.
Right.
So you start kind of looking around. It's like, well, you don't want to pass by the window. The door is wide open. So you're kind of stuck between these two. You look around and you do a quick bit of parkour, grabbing onto part of the sign that's like at an angle, and pull yourself up over the door to land on the other side and dash around back. You find a cellar entrance, and you also find a main door entrance that's on like an offshoot, almost like an expansion onto the back of the building, which looks fresh. Compared to the rest of the damaged building, this looks like it was built new.
Okay. Then as Rhea, I'm gonna go into the section that looks somewhat newer because
All right. You open
I would
up, and it's
assume-
a place where they're storing and taking out trash out the back here.
All right. Is anybody in the room?
Give me a perception check.
$16. You say there's another damn person around the corner.
Looks clear.
Okay. And then this is where I take the opportunity to change into Echo.
So you're not using magic, right? You're using like a disguise kit. I don't remember. Oh no, you just changed.
It's
You're,
shape-shifting,
you're
yeah.
you're a shifter, changeling. All right, so your body kind of twists and contorts and reshapes into your natural form. You make your way in, and Garmore, as you're sitting there, out of the back room comes Echo.
Are we alone?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, maybe you should check that the next time you go and tell people about me.
Fiery start. But fair.
I heard your conversation with Rhea. You have to be more careful.
If you heard my conversation with Rhea, then you know my misgivings of your kind.
I'm aware. And hopefully the Dimir aren't aware of things that you said to somebody else that I said not to tell them.
How am
Garmore, I'm
how am I
sorry that I'm coming on so strong, but you have to consider the Dimir in all situations. They are constantly looking to mess with us and take our information.
To what end?
Information
Control?
is power.
To what end? Control us? To keep us here?
To use us.
That is not what we want. We want to go home.
And they want to make it there as well. And I can't let them get there.
How am I supposed to know the machinations of the Dimir if you do not disclose that?
Well, from here on out, if you're going to tell anybody, which you shouldn't, about my situation, check the room first.
I am aware.
Now, about your changeling situation.
I know that you were not involved in that. To my knowledge, it is impossible for someone of Ravnica to traverse between realms. Therefore, it would be impossible for a Ravnican changeling to make it to Faerun.
Yes, I knew a little bit about it, and
What, from the Dimir contacts that have been eavesdropping my conversation with that lieutenant?
from the Dimir contacts that are everywhere. Yeah, this situation is... We can fix this. You know I'm not one of the Dimir that
Not by choice. That
killed
you
your
told me.
family. And since you know my goals, my ultimate purpose with working with you, I'm not here to mess up your plans or sabotage you in any way. I want to help. I want to help in every way I can, and I only ask that you help me when the time comes.
You ask very much.
I give even more.
If you are that willing, then allow me to give you one advice. Should this be successful, ultimately, that we eventually go back home, that your part and my agreement to you succeeds, the agreement with Zorax, with Merl, comes to fruition, I will warn you of the region to avoid. They have been developing non-harmful countermeasures against changelings, against shapeshifters, lycanthropes, your kind, and such. It is harmless as far as I remember, but afterwards, you will either be thrown out of the region or worse, jailed. They would not know communication. Our favorite civilization is not as advanced as Ravnica's. There is a lack of communication to spread. Sure, there are organizations that spread such information, but the only one I know of is known as the Harpers. They are an anti-corruption organization. They were investigating the illegal activities of the corrupt lord of the nearby town. They were.
I need to survive helping you first. That is the odds of that actually happening probably stacked against me right now. I realize that. We can talk more about Faerun when we get there. And I appreciate everything you give me, but I do have something for you too. A test of trust, we'll say. Soon, something's gonna happen to Rhea. And I
He
know
immediately gets heightened up.
I know this is alarming. But prove to me that I can trust you. Don't interfere. Zorax is going to take care of it, okay?
That is a big ask. I may not know what entails, but what is going to happen to Elturel after this happens, should it succeed? If something happens to her, who will lead us? I'm sure you've heard of that barren fellow who is against a woman.
Zorax would rather have him killed first, just as an FYI. Out of character.
Well,
It'd be another murder. It'd be bad.
I realize this
one
is
ult-
something that you would want to prevent something happening to Rhea. It's inevitable at this point. And this is the trust that I need to have in you going forward. I need to know that we're a team. We need to be a team, or we are not gonna get back out of this safely.
Well, we're doomed.
Ah, fuck. Teamwork.
That's freaking teamwork.
There we go.
Thank you, Critical Role, for that reference. The only way out that I can think of to reestablish leadership is if we revive the Grand Duke, but that is impossible as we put so much debt with the Boros.
Just take it like student loans, always stack more debt.
But there is an idea that I have that I want to run by you as a local Ravnican who has best knowledge of the Boros Legion. I assume you are aware of the evil shield that Zorax carries.
Yes. Quite.
what if, in a testament of good faith with the Boros, that we handed to their custody for security and with special arrangements for its influence to not spread to anyone who enters the secured chamber that seals it away. In return, that they would possibly revive the Grand Duke. Is it possible for such an arrangement?
I would. Either they view the shield as a very valuable relic, or
From
a very
what
dangerous curse.
From what I
Right.
understand of what Zorax briefly mentioned is that there is the soul or the soul and body of a pit fiend, a devilish creature from the nine hells that dwells within this shield.
He just carries it. He's like, eh.
He just carries it around in that sealed bag of holding.
Just this
And
endless cosmic power in his bag.
And despite Zorax's claims that his divine power and his sword protects him from such influences, I would feel more safe if it was in the hands of the Boros angels.
That's fair.
Garmore, we can have this talk with Zorax after everything happens. And I know you're worried, but as I mentioned, it's inevitable.
Inevitable.
I feel like Thanos keeps saying it, I am inevitable.
Oh,
So, Garmore, can I trust you?
I am willing to trust you. If you are with Elturel, ultimately, you don't have to proclaim it publicly. You don't have to show it to. You would show it to me by supporting us as best you can. Tell us any information you can glean from the situation, such as the movements of the Rakdos heading towards this maze of shattered souls where a Arclight Phoenix takes nesting there. Why would they go there? As an example for a conversation later.
The Dimir feed me information that I need to know. I realize that you think the Phoenix is I realize the Phoenix is incredibly important. I want to get the Phoenix just as much as the next person. But the Dimir really have no reason to feed us that information right now. We have that information. And they know that.
All right. I will let your plan with Rhea transpire. I just hope that she survives whatever happens.
Both of you give. What is everyone? Both of your passive perceptions.
Oh,
My passive perception
Armor's his killer.
My passive is 20.
Mine's 11. So
All right. So, Garmore, you hear a floorboard creak, and it draws your attention. You look over there, and you don't see nothing, and then you quickly hear thudding of boots echoing in the distance.
I immediately wild shape into a wolf and darn it, I have to pull this up on the browser because I can't do it on the app yet. He turns into a wolf and tries to sniff any scent that went off in that direction. And if I recall, wolves have advantage that for perception based on scent or smell.
Scent. Yep.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Echo, who didn't hear or be told anything, is sitting there going, I guess we're done.
That would be so weird.
Yeah, it's a little alarming.
He turned into a wolf and bolted.
Okay, can I retcon it and say someone was here?
No.
No.
It's funnier this way.
It is. It's more entertaining this way.
Okay, I rolled a 23.
Talk about being ghosted. What'd you get?
23, and he just snarls, whatever it was.
Yep. So as you dash out of the red the red house, you catch the scent of something familiar. You can't quite place it, but you're able to track it easily. You track it a half a mile before you lose it, as it leads to the edge of the boundary of the city of El Toril. Before the tracks, the scent doesn't disappear, but appears to leave the ground.
He's like, oh no. And he immediately books it back to the red house.
Okay, so you were chasing this thing for a few miles. So the question is would Echo have waited, knowing he just kind of got ghosted?
Echo is waiting outside the red house, kind of looking around, seeing what possibly could have happened.
Okay,
Oh, he was
after, what?
He was kind of double booking it back.
Yeah, but even so, you chase this thing. El Toril is a big city.
Okay.
Miles and miles and miles across. So
Despite
it
its
takes you about
condition?
20 minutes or so.
Yeah, I mean, it's still the whole city's just planet. It's just a little crooked and it's all kind of broken.
So it does
A little
take you a
wrecked.
good 20 minutes to get back, even hoofing it.
Oh my gosh, I just realized anything you put on a counter or a table is gonna just be in a slight slant everywhere.
We level it back out eventually. Well, no, it's like cockeyed. Like it's kind of like shifted diagonally, not like elevation. Well, maybe elevation-wise too. I don't know. We kind of slammed this thing into the earth.
Yeah. All right, so you get there, and Echo is still sitting there. After about 15 minutes, people started filling back into the red house because Rhea isn't there being a bitch.
Okay. He approaches
Wow.
the red house, reverts back to his form, and looks for Echo. Does he see him?
Yeah, he's not hiding, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm in plain sight this time.
So I wanna go ahead.
He hurriedly gestures Echo to follow him,
I'm going.
and the moment you step out of the red house, he drags you into a corner. Someone was eavesdropping on us. Their scent went past the city. It's like they went up into the air. Could
They
that have been them?
flew, you think?
I believe so. There was no trace of them going to the ground that eventually led into Ravnica. It's like
You think it was a person of some sort? Or...
a person that has the capability to fly once they reach the edge of El Toril. Could that have been them? Could that have been El Toril? Could that have
The
been the Dimir?
Anything's possible.
Could they have eavesdropped on us? If that's so, then our bargain may be known to the Dimir, assumingly.
That is possible. And if that's the case, I can talk with them later. But for now,
Are you sure that's wise, considering your circumstance?
Garmor, I've got this.
Can I insight check him?
You can try.
You can do whatever you want.
Just to
Yeah,
see
fire
if he,
away.
just to see
Fire
if he has
away.
the that he's confident in his matter to deal with the Demir, as he claimed.
What do I need to roll to be like a competing check?
Yeah, is it a deception or persuasion?
You're trying to. If you're just being honest, it doesn't matter what he insight checks. You can just say it. If you're trying to hold something back, or do half truths, or trying to keep it away from him, then you're gonna probably do something along the lines of a deception. But
Okay.
if you're being genuine, his check doesn't mean shit if there's nothing to win.
In other
Well,
words, you can roll away and be like, "Yes, I was telling the truth."
I was honest in that I've got it, but I'm not telling him everything.
Okay,
That's
so
fair.
So it's a half truth, I guess.
would that really require a deception check?
Do you want to know what I'm not telling him so that you can
Yeah, you can
decide?
text me if you want.
Okay.
But generally, if you're deceiving somebody,
Well,
it's going to be deception, right?
I can
Right.
say it because we'll just say it out of character here so that it doesn't affect the game here. We'll hurry it along. Basically, Echo is just going to tell the Demir he's been playing them the whole time. Everything he's told the people of Elturel has been a lie. He's going to hand over all of the information to the Demir. Everything was just to gain their trust. That's what he's holding back. That's the lie that he plans on telling the Demir if things go.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you can try to get that out of me.
Well, he's not going to learn all that. He'll just know either
Yeah.
you're holding something back.
Yeah, you're only telling Garmor's player about this.
Yeah, I'm telling the player or the people at the table here, not the character of Garmor.
All right.
That's fair. I don't blame you.
So-
Every man for himself to a certain extent.
I am trusting you with this, Echo. Perhaps we shall make it to our relationship, and partnership, and he puts his hand out.
I've got this.
I get you, homie.
All right, and that's where we're going to close out your guys' little segment here.
Okay.
The night passes. Merl wakes up to a Merl wakes up to a thunderous noise as two alien creatures bust down the door and are standing over top of him, screaming and yelling that according to the contract he signed, when he died, the corpse became theirs.
Oh crap! Is this what I think they are?
The contract you had, they're standing over top of you. Is like, Merl Bronson.
I have to be back.
To my understanding, you died approximately 2 days ago. Is that correct?
Sounds about right.
Well, according to this contract, and he goes, and it unrolls this massive thing. Article 37, Section 2. Upon death, all bodily anatomy becomes the property of the Izzet Guild. So you'll have to come with us.
That was the plan anyway. I was gonna go there tomorrow.
Well, we need you to come with us today.
Can I finish my nap first?
The two people kind of look at each other. They look at the clock. How much time you need?
Well, let me see. I've been dead for a day. I came back. I'm exhausted. It's gonna take me about 3 more days to get come back to 100%.
Are you being genuine with them? Can you give me a persuasion or a deception check?
Okay, I am being genuine, and I'm being semi-pissed off because I was asleep and these SOBs woke me up.
Go ahead and give me a perception or a persuasion check.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, 15. That's actually not too bad.
All right. They kind of look at each other like, well, 3 days. We're supposed to bring with you today, but I suppose after being dead, that's not.
And I also want to make it very clear that I'm planning on going back to the Izzet Guild anyway, and what do you think can be more valuable? My regular human body, or that interdimensional technology I'm trying to manufacture for the Izzet Guild? Idiots.
They kind of just look at each other and like,
That's right.
it doesn't really say anything about that in our
Our
paperwork.
supervisors are going to be happy if you kill me without giving information to them.
Whoa. We weren't killing you. We were just telling you that since you died, technically you belong to us.
I know.
And we're here to collect. You signed the contract.
I know.
And sold your body to us upon death.
Don't you tell me what it says. I know dang well what it says.
They kind of look at each other and says, we've never really had property want to come back.
And you probably never had property come back to life either. Did you?
Nope, that certainly doesn't usually happen. They're like, just give us a second. And the two, and as you're looking at these, the one's got like the head of a wolf and a big serpentine arm that comes together at the end as like a snake head. The other one's got two different types of wings, one like bat wing and one like a feather wing, as they kind of just walk over and they're just whispering in the corner. Give me a perception check.
Oh, perception, you say?
Remember, you have -4.
-3, actually. -3.
Oh, yeah.
He
He did get arrested.
Oh, did we get the rest in? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so at -3, then that's going to be a 13.
So you kind of capture just a little bit of the discussion between these two Simic Combine people. He says, he's technically alive, and usually when they die, they stay dead. So I'm not really sure what protocol is right here, but he says he's going to come back anyway. So I think that I don't know that we could trust him. He's an alien. You can't.
That's where my lab is.
They turn around and look at you. He's like, he must have really good hearing. All right, so they come back and they look at you and they say, so we've since we cannot find anything in any of our books, and you see the one guy is just flipping through the protocol book, trying to figure out what the best strategy is. He says, since we cannot find anything about personal property that came back, returned to life, we've decided that we will go ahead and allow you to escort yourself on the premise that you will inform our superiors that you agreed to this and that you are 100% compliant as our property. Do you understand?
If it means you'll leave and I can sleep, yes, I understand.
All right. Did you get that? He's like, I got it. And he has this little like large pen thing that he presses, and it plays back your voice. I think we're good. All right. 3 days, no later. All right. We'll send more at us. Yes. All right. He turns and says, I guess we don't need the box then.
Wait. Box? What kind of box?
Oh yeah, usually we just we put the property in it and we carry it with us. And you look, he opens up in the door and you just see a giant sarcophagus. But instead of it having intricate, it's just basically a wooden box.
All right.
It's just a box. Yeah.
Well, why would we invest in anything else for a corpse? You're not usually alive to care. So, but anyways,
That's fair.
return when you can, and we will. If you don't, we will hunt you down and return you to dead, and then return you to the vault.
Before you leave, I have a list.
What? They look at each other. Can you do that? What is it you want, corpse?
Okay, I need some materials so I can build my portal.
They kind of look at each other. It's like, I don't think we get paid enough for that.
Well, you're going back anyway, and I'm sure you can't pass on the message, which you're going to be doing anyway, idiots.
Oh. So you want me to just okay? We misunderstood. I think he just wants us to take the paperwork. We can take paperwork.
Of course, you can take paperwork.
All right. So as you hand him a list of components you need.
Yep.
He says, I don't know that anybody can read this.
Oh, that's right.
It's written common.
Ah, great. Now I gotta dictate to you.
What'd you call me?
Couldn't they just
Those
use the
language
voice
barriers.
recorder?
I'm saying I have to tell you what to write down. Alright.
Wait, why are you giving us more work? Is not delivering your letter enough?
Not if they can read it. Although I suppose some
Well, that is not our problem.
You know
He
what?
takes the sheet and then they turn around and walk out.
Alright. I am not paying enough for this.
All right.
Both
those
parties
guys
are just
came
upset.
They came in looking to just obliterate Merl, contract in hand, recorder in hand, and Merl finessed him, gave him a list and said, hey, go take care of my business.
Whoa!
Nailed
See a
it.
lot of spy work in my day that usually involves that kind of thing, but my man not even a spy. He just said, hey, I own you.
Dang.
I do want to point out that Merl is a character who outlawyered a devil in their own contract. Just saying.
Yep. All right, so
Merl, attorney at law.
Once a harmless man, then a machinist, now a lawyer.
After a nice restful night, you guys managed to reconvene. There has been a call out to all council members to return to the chambers, and you guys are make your way into the council chamber, and of course you can see Osiv is there, and Jara, and Archmage Baron, and Visanya, as well as some of the other council members, who I haven't given names because that's too many people that we don't need to worry about. All you need to know is the primary. And of course, Rhea Mantlemorn is heading up the interview, or the council meeting. As you guys walk in, there's servants dashing around. They've got grapes, and as you take a second look, they're not actually grapes. They look like grapes. They gush in your mouth when you break them, but there's a little bit of a chunky thing on the inside. It's very strange. They hand out some tea and a few other ales and wines and juices and stuff. And once they're done with this nice little delectable kind of dish, Rhea just kind of ushers them away. Zorax, in one of the corners, you see a flicker of movement, and you see in this shadowy corner, you see just a bit of a dangling cloak hiding in the corner, as if somebody is pinned in this shadow of darkness, just out of reach of the candles and stuff.
How am I able to perceive this?
With your eyes.
So I can actively just see this.
Yeah, you knew what to look for. When you woke up this morning, there was a small little letter that says, "See you then," with a little signet of a raven on it. Just like a little stamp.
The plan's all coming together.
Just so you know, at lowest, 23.
Yeah. Well, I decided to have you, was going to have you roll, but I decided, I was like, you planned this out. There's no reason you need to roll to know that your plan
there.
is coming together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that would be foolish.
Zorax doesn't really, he just does the smallest smirk. He's like,
Garmor, you
Fucking
spot
Finally.
a subtle smirk appear on Zorax's face sitting across the table from you.
He takes a deep breath and just lets out a heavy sigh.
The Visanya kind of opens her arms to everyone and says, I have spoken with Rhea and I will speak first. My agents have returned, most of them, and the news is not great. Many of the Demir agents have identified well over half of our own, so there's no telling what information's been compromised. The Rakdos have sent a group known as a group that has been titled the Emerald Claw to the Maze of the Shattered Souls. From our guesstimates, they probably are already arriving in Festerhold, which is the only city nearby that's closest to where the maze is said to be in the Demon Wastes, which is in the section 6 of the city in Rakdos territory. So there's definitely some concern there.
How much time does that leave us?
Well,
By estimate,
you're
of course.
probably 2.5 days behind them right now, from our estimates.
Got it.
The concern isn't just if they get to the Phoenix Artlight before us. It's bigger than that, because apparently that creature is not exactly common. So if we miss out on this opportunity, not only will they be one step closer to developing the technology that we need, but all of my agents suggest that they have no intention of doing any sort of good with this knowledge. It is certainly a concern. The cult of Rakdos is really centered around a demon lord who really just exemplifies the concepts of chaos and evil. So at its worst, the cult of Rakdos are driven by lust and power and extreme selfishness and a lack of compassion. You fault the Grohl, at least they have a sense of honor. They're a sense of honor, even albeit twisted. The cultists of Rakdos take delight in causing pain to others and make sure they know their place, which is subservient to the powerful adherents of, their self-centered philosophy. With their, it's quite terrifying, to be honest, all the information that we've gathered. If they're able to obtain the power that we seek to plane shift, they will undoubtedly wreck other planes and probably prevent us from returning home as well to Toril. The best thing I can, the only thing I can really say about the goal, the Rakdos, and what we can identify as their goals is the guild is an unbridled hedonism. It pretty much does what it wants. And they're all driven by base desires and strong streak of cruelty, hidden beneath a form of disgusting entertainment.
None of the other guilds will stop them?
It's
Even
not
when
that
it puts
they
as an
won't.
endangerment?
It's not that they won't.
It's that
You have to understand that there's a limitation to what other guilds can do, because the nature of this plane, this place, is so massive. And the from what I understand, the guild pact prevents them from going to war with each other directly, which is why that they have to invite those who don't necessarily follow the ways of the guild to trigger the different wars. Now, that doesn't mean they can't have wars, but there are magical penalties for those that do engage in it. And even if the Boros Legion or the
Orzhov?
Orzhov, no, not the Orzhov, the what is the
Demir?
no,
The Azorius.
The Azorius Senate,
Oh,
they're
man.
still tied by what the pact allows them to do.
I propose something then. We're not part of the guild pact. They can help us expedite to cut them off. For better of everyone else.
What are you proposing? Anything specific?
They can allow us to get in to intervene before they even make it to the Arclight Phoenix.
Who? Who can help
Anyone.
us?
Any of them. I don't think anyone in their right minds would want this to happen.
I don't know that that's true. Osiv stands up. He says, "We have to understand. We have to understand, my friends. This power to change planes, to go to new worlds, you can't possibly think only Rakdos wants it.
I suppose that's
So the
fair.
real question is, would they let somebody else do the dirty work and then take what they want from them?"
Then I guess
Jara stands up and says, he looks directly at Zorax, and he says, "I understand where you're coming from. As a Ravnican myself, the thought of leaving a world bound by the Guild Pact is extremely appealing. The problem I have is that not everyone will be just in their actions of what they do with this power. I do believe that if we ask the right people, they will lend support. But if they do so, it would have to be one that isn't given openly."
Right.
His eyes dart over to Rhea, and he says, "I think Zorax might be onto something. What do you think?"
I have a question for Jara. How long would such a process take? Do we have time, considering that it is a race towards the Arclight?
Thus is the problem now, isn't it? If you're trying to reach ahead of them, they likely have taken an airship. The only way faster, I would think, would be through some sort of death machine.
They have teleportation.
Sometimes.
But that's faster.
Or
I've
those,
survived worse.
Or you don't make it.
or the self-explosive. He's referring to the self-explosive airships. But I do propose another way. Do you remember that spell that we used to get to the Rebel Belt?
Is that
I
even
do.
faster than these airships?
Not particularly, but it's fast
Fast.
enough. You don't gotta wait for an airship to show up, so I mean, it definitely has its benefits.
The problem is that I only have one material component used for it left.
We should probably save it then. Even though we need to expedite our process, I do need to think that we need also a way out once we acquire the Arclight. Should we acquire it to begin with? If it's
Rhea
highly
speaks
contested,
up.
we can leave with it.
It is incredibly important that we get this as soon as possible.
Sure.
I don't want to waste something that we have just to get something and suddenly we die there with it. That's my only concern. We're strong,
Emotional damage.
but we're not... These are armies.
We're just 8 men at most.
Baron, Archmage Baron pops up and says, Merl, any of that flash of genius get us out of this situation?
Is that a hint from the DM?
Well, it is one of my class features.
I see what the DM did there.
Well, I'm still not 1% yet, but I'm sure I can still come up with something.
What if we make our own airship?
With what resources?
I'm sure we don't have any. That was more of a joke. I'm sure Zorax is clearly level-headed enough to be like, yeah, that probably wouldn't work.
Well,
Well,
you said the material component is holy water, right?
For my Windwalk spell, yes. And I only have one use of it left.
Well, we got temples here in Toril still, don't we? I'm sure there's ways we can procure it without much
We
difficulty.
probably have
Wait.
a million clerics.
Wait, we have a cleric. He's asleep in a room right here. And Rhea points over
Vennac,
where
right?
Vennac
Yeah, Vennac is literally
was
here.
resting after reviving Merl.
Wow, guys,
Yeah.
we're really on the ball.
We're already in debt with the Boros Legion as it is.
Buzzing water is
How
not really
hard
an
can it be for
inconvenience.
him to bless some water? He
He
just
just
waves
does
his
this.
hand over it and spits in it. It's fine.
I literally.
Rhea speaks up.
Okay, I'm just saying. Oh, sorry, Rhea.
A small debt to the Boros is worth getting the Phoenix.
I can agree with that.
And
Yeah.
we should not waste too much more time talking.
Just think, infinite wind walking. I'm just saying.
You do realize that it takes a minute to cast this spell.
Yeah, but we're also flying at 8 million miles an hour for an hour. So yeah, I don't care.
I can
All
only
right,
cast this once a day.
Oh well, that's.
How long does it last? An hour?
8 hours.
8
Oh
hours.
my god, it's so much longer than I think.
The movement speed that it... Okay, saying this as the player. The movement speed that it provides is 300...
Fast as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fast as fuck. We remember.
A fly speed of 300 feet.
Yes.
Per
That's
round.
insane. Yeah, that's fast.
There's like dashing
Um,
involved too. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's without dashing.
Yeah. So, my friends, it sounds like we need Vennac.
Yes. And then after we land,
I
we
can go
procure an
get. Do you need me to go get this man? I can get him.
Please, Osif, if you would.
Osif goes to the door, opens the door, and just screams as loud as he can. Vennac! He bawls, Vennac! Get your Boros acid here! He's like, I think he's coming, my friends.
Okay, for the record, I just did the master just for the heck of it, because why not? And assuming we were moving at 1,200 feet around, that's 136 miles per hour.
How did you get 1,200 feet around? Dashing doubles to 600.
Yeah, because it moved 300 feet.
Oh,
He said per round.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
1,200, you can still only move 300 normal and then
And dash would be
600 if you're
600.
dashing.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Oh.
like got cunning action.
That'd be
or
half of
something.
that, but still, well,
68 then, but still.
Still, that's
really
a lot.
Fucking fast.
All right, so
That's highway driving, baby.
you guys are sitting around the table, and after a few minutes, more waitresses come in and offer some different mixes of treats and drinks.
Do we only serve
and
peanuts here? What is going
Fresh nuts, and one of the pleasantly plump woman that you've seen doing a majority says, "Is there anything that I can get you, masters and mistresses? The cooks
I'm
are
gonna
out
need a
and
shot of
about and are
whiskey
looking for
because
some
we're about
work."
to do something really stupid.
on? I'm sorry, what did you
Whiskey?
need, Merl?
I don't know if we have that, but I will check.
A shot
Anything
of
else?
Shot of whiskey.
Even have any.
So,
So I actually take
Garmor.
the shot glass and hands it
Mhm.
over to Merl. For you, my
Garmor.
friend.
Yes.
as this waitress lady is giving out treats and candies and stuff, you spot just for a second, you glimmer her eyes darting to the paperwork that's on Rhea's desk, just for an instant. Could be just
Oh,
a chance.
Dang it! I don't have that. I don't have a spell. He immediately stands up and says, "Stop!" and points at the.
She's like half pouring a drink, and it starts going on the ground or on the table.
Armor, I think you're being a bit brash. What's going on?
She was glancing at Rhea's document.
What? Oh, yeah. I couldn't help but notice that there's a spot that I had missed on the when I watched the table. I missed a spot right there, and she points.
Echo casts detect thoughts using subtle spell, so people don't know she actually casts it.
Ho ho! That's sly as fuck.
So as you cast detect thoughts, you focus in on this,
That's so.
and the first thing that stands out is this person is thinking in Ravnican. And she said, you hear this in her mind. Keep it cool. They don't have anything. There's really a spot there that you missed on purpose. And at the top outside, she's like, "Look, yeah, I missed it. I was gonna get it." And she starts wiping it up. And
As Rhea flips over her notes, she looks at the maid and goes, "Tell us who really sent you. Don't lie."
that would be the Baron. He had me come in here and take care of this.
No, that's a lie. Who sent you to spy on me?
And with that, a dark shadow drops from the ceiling, blade in hand, coming down to strike Rhea down as he's about to land on top of her.
Oh!
Right then and there. Come on, dude. This is your moment.
I was gonna say. Oh, sorry. So I had a Facebook message. I thought it was Justin. I cast banishment on Rhea.
So as this cloaked figure is coming down, I said it was a blade, but as he's landing, you actually see it's a grappling hook as he swings it, coming straight down for her head. And then Zorax quickly chants, snaps his fingers up, and you see a black vortex surround Rhea, and she like shrinks in on herself and is gone as he lands with a loud thud. And he pulls his thing right out of the chair as it sticks deep into the chair. He tugs on it a little bit and he curses. And you see, 1 second. Excuse me.
I cast Entangle
You see this
on the area where the pudgy woman and the shadow figure is.
You cast what?
Entangle.
Okay.
It's a 20-foot square.
Yeah, you're going to entangle everybody. So as this person comes down, you see that they have a big billowy cloak. They've got armor that seems to be made out of bone. Part of his head is balding and white, and he has a brand on his head that looks like it's black with like a blue, almost looks like an insect of sorts with a little eye in the center. You're very familiar with the Demir sigil. He snarls and he looks around as these vines burst up out of the ground in all directions.
Strength saving throw.
Is it okay? Question: Is it meant to? I should just look it up actually before I say anything.
As you look up, the vines twist and snatch in every single direction. You see Osif just goes, eh, and he just pulls himself free of it with no problem. The blinds are snapping and breaking. And then you look over and you see a smirk on the little waitress's face as she winks, reaches out, snags the papers, and you see her a puff of silvery mist appear around her, and she vanishes. And you look over, with you hear a little giggle, and she's at the door already.
I
Winks
chase
again.
after her.
Okay. Give me a
She's
perception
going
check.
wolf form.
Okay.
Can I do that with advantage as turn into a wolf for senses?
Sure.
There's so
Okay.
much chaos.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
I called it.
28.
Woo! All right. So as you shape into a wolf, you dash through. Are you immune to your own spell? Because I don't think you are.
No. Any
And it's gonna catch
creature.
everybody. So I need you to give me a save on that first.
Does that include people that were banished?
No, not you. You're banished.
Yeah.
After the fact.
I had to use one of her Misty Step spell to get out of it because that was a very clever move that I wasn't expecting.
So
do I have Zorex's divine
Yes, you do.
aura? Okay. So that's plus
Not
5.
helping.
well, that sucks for you. You tried to do this. You tried to spice it up, and I said no.
didn't
You
do
have
that.
5 heroes in here.
11. But wait,
11?
it's my own spell. It's my own spell.
Oh no! So as you twist and shape, you dash forward, and the vines tangle and twist, and you see her disappear out. And as the door is closing, she becomes translucent and sparkles, and
Can
all
I-
you see is her. Yep. Go ahead.
So can I actually react to her after the Misty Step?
So everyone's gonna chase the servant, and everyone is just ignoring.
Well,
the
I
murderer
know what's
guy.
going on with the guy.
I know you do. Okay.
So
Go
that's you have to give me that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I look over at the waitress and I use command and I say surrender with the command spell. Does she fail?
16. Is that gonna? I don't know.
She fails.
Okay.
She drops everything, I
Um,
presume.
And so, as you cast that, she's partially going invisible, but you see her stop and dead in her tracks. Merl, what does Merl do in all this hoopla?
Well, he's trying. Well, first off, he's trying to make a strength saving throw, whatever the crap that is,
Yeah, for real.
and he probably bombs it completely. So,
You get a plus
DC
5.
18.
well, he still fails it. So,
So he's all like tangled and twisted up and getting kind of annoyed. You're like, I don't have the strength for this shit. 'Cause
Okay.
you can't bust and twist and break it
As soon as
free.
possible, can Garmart disperse the entangle spell and just jump on the woman?
Not yet, but she already bolted. She Missy stepped to the door and then ran out. So right now the only thing that's holding her in place while she's invisible is Zorax.
I can scream at her, thankfully.
But that's
do-
I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Hang on one second. 'Cause
How do you want to do this?
I gotta think this through.
I did.
hey,
tell
my
her
plan's
to
going
surrender.
great. I'm just saying, this is
How
going
long?
better than I thought.
How
it would.
long does that banish last? 1 minute.
1
minute.
minute.
Okay, well, Rhea is banished. Can I do anything? Where am I gone to for that minute?
You're in a harmless
You're in a
demi-plane of
pocket dimension.
nothingness.
So you
Cool.
can.
So I
do
can
whatever you want.
change and cast a spell.
Yes.
Yes, you can do
Exactly.
all that
Beautiful.
stuff. So why don't you go ahead and tell me what you want to do since we're on the subject?
Yeah, I am going to definitely be invisible when we come back.
I thought so.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I think I figured out how I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, on its next turn, it has to follow that command, which I said surrender.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Did
means
did you confirm the mobile feet thing for me?
he does still have to make the strength saving throw, presumably, because he's
Go ahead
in the
and roll that.
area on the cast. Which,
DC 18.
thanks to Zorax, he's got a little boost that he knows, or else it's gonna be very tough.
That is my only hiccup in the plan, and I tried to fix it. And
Yeah, he just caused an entanglement immediately,
yeah.
which is fair. What is Raven's strength? It is not good. Oh boy. But the lucky feat's a thing.
What?
Yep. And he succeeds, and he is immediately getting the fuck out. He has the mobile
Yep.
feat, so he ignores difficulty terrain.
He has mobile feet, he dashes, and he uses cunning action.
He's gone.
He's gonna escape. Unfortunately, a
Probably
spell is holding my other Demir deadlock center right now, and after a moment, Garmor gets free and charges out. You get a big, strong sense, and you can smell her. She's still in the room. And as you howl at her, her invisibility slowly deteriorates, and she's on her knees, bowing. How long does that last? 1 round, right?
It's just 1 round, but I can cast it again.
How about count is on her?
Okay, go ahead and give me a contested check. If you succeed, we'll just leave it there. I rolled an @1, so.
Okay, I have a +1 strength as a wolf. And
So
I have
you
athletics.
beat her.
Yeah.
Yep. I do beat her. Yeah, that's a 20 total.
All right, so
He's just snarling at her, teeth baring.
after a few minutes, everything settles down. You're on top of her and got her pinned to the ground. The area kind of calls up. Rhea is gone. Baron kind of stands up. He says, "Well, Zorax, where did you send Rhea?"
I banished her. She's back to our home plane.
You removed our leader.
I saved her life.
Well,
She would have been fine.
Did you not see the assassin descending from the sky? What is wrong with you?
You know what? You're right. She is only a woman. She wouldn't have been able to do anything against a man.
Baron Von, sexist son of a bitch.
Everyone hates his guts.
I just walk up to him and I tower over him and I say, I dare you to say that again.
Do I not speak the truth? You needed to save her, a man, because she couldn't defend herself.
I use
told you
command
this
and I
all
say,
would happen.
silence!
I gotta check something. 1 second.
I don't know how strong his stats are,
Yeah.
admittedly.
Yeah, I gotta. Well, I'm pretty sure I told you he's an archmage. I don't think
You
I
did,
hit that
and I
button.
know
Where's
he's
Storm when you
relatively
need him?
powerful.
I think
But I
that
can't
is,
banish
yeah.
again, so I can't send him back home, and he's gonna realize there's nothing there.
Although, let's be honest, when you
Oh,
make
he
your
has advantage.
archmage a douchebag, spells are probably going to be cast against him.
That's also true. He got a. Well, I don't know what the bonus to save is. Oh, it's his Arcana here. Plus 13, and I rolled a 17. He got a 30 on his. Wait, what save is that? I think I picked the wrong save.
It's
I
an
picked
18.
Arcana. That's a wisdom save.
It's
right?
I believe it's charisma. Is it
Charisma.
not?
Ooh, really?
Okay,
Let me
so
check
this
just one
is
more time.
20.
Let me check.
Just a 20 then. I was looking at a
just
skill,
20.
not a saving throw. He's got wisdom and int saves.
Oh, no, it is wisdom. I'm sorry. It was
Okay, so then it's a 23, but still
Yeah, he
that's
does
gonna
win.
succeed.
Yep.
He says, you foolish. You try to use magic on me, a master of the mystic arts? Ah. She was
Admittedly.
weak, and now we need a new leader. He kind of walks over to her position and arches his back. And as I have said before, this job should be done by a man. Someone with years of experience in study and education on complex tactics, knowledge of the world.
well, I don't vote for you, you idiot.
Well, lucky for you.
I don't
I
think
slide
he's
the-
Somebody deal with that, please. Bring
I-
her in here.
I take the papers away from the person. I feel like that should be a given, but
just in case the DM wants to be like, no, the papers away, because I know you're an asshole. So,
It's true.
so I'm be sure, and Zorax just kind of.
I'm a very dirty asshole too.
Yeah, you are.
I'm the real painful ones. When you wipe, it hurts.
I might just get fucking Raven to assassinate this motherfucker.
All right. So
Just say he's.
Baron says, bring her in to be judged. So Garmore's kind of got her by the teeth, just like a rabid dog is just dragging her. And you see all the vines and stuff disappear. And with that, a vacuum-like energy appears out of nowhere, right where Rhea was standing, and then it sucks into existence. It is gone again. Echo, you have returned to the scene of chaos. Vines are retracting out from everywhere. You see Merl is like trying to pull the stuff off, burning it with a cigarette and shit. Osiv is just snapping him left and right, getting him out of his chair. And you see a giant wolf dragging this servant lady into the center. And Baron Dickhead is now taking charge. He says, answer me, woman. You see him wave his hand and chant arcane words. And he says,
By the way, Echo is out of there as soon as possible.
okay. You're not
Probably
going to stay
makes
and
sense.
watch? How long does
Invisibility only
invisibility
lasts 1 minute, and I
Oh,
cast
okay.
it halfway through being in that
Yep,
plane.
you want to get the hell out of there.
I got
Luckily,
30
once you exit
seconds.
the room, you can transform. So,
Yeah.
To a regular skip.
This is where it gets really interesting, you guys. He begins chanting a powerful arcane spell, and he says, I will see into her mind and reveal her secrets. I need somebody trained in Arcana to give me an Arcana check. Merl, that's you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that
Where's
sure as
Jordan when
fuck
you-
ain't me.
Where's Jordan when you need him?
25.
As he's casting this spell, something is strange about it. Let me check something. So as he's channeling and casting this spell, there's definitely something strange about it. It doesn't seem to be any sort of mind control or mind reading or anything like that. But it's similar. You don't understand some of the words, but it's definitely not the more traditional detect, read minds or mind reading.
Sure.
It's some strange variation of it. And he says, "Bring her to me. We will get the truth out of her."
This is dark.
I have
Garmor
a
is
question.
Garmor is hesitant to bring her forward.
What
Looks
are you
to-
doing, fool? She must be interrogated.
He looks to Zorax, Merl, and to others such as Visanya.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, do we listen to this fucking guy?
No.
Of course you do. Order must be restored. With Rhea gone, somebody must take up the mantle, Morn.
We agree. But doesn't mean that we should put a jackwagon in charge. And believe me,
We don't-
you're a jackwagon.
Well, let's do this right now, and we'll deal with the position later, okay?
Fine.
Hey, Merle. You're skilled in magics. By chance, did you recognize that spell at all?
It's weird. It's some kind of telepathy ability, but not one I've seen before.
Yeah.
I dislike that.
Most notably, it
What are you
wasn't even
doing,
in
Baron?
the same school. It was not divination magic. It was some sort of aberration. Abjuration.
What are you doing, Baron? If you're gonna be a leader,
told
you gotta
you,
let us
fool.
know.
I'm trying to
What
look
spell?
into her mind.
Did you use?
I used one that would allow me to read her thoughts.
Insight check.
How well
What?
can this mage lie?
Do we have permission, DM?
Yeah,
He said go ahead. Yep.
Okay, I missed that. No, I do not have that. That's a 17. A
Oh.
49.
I gotta check something real quick, dude.
You really made this guy to be an asshole, so we just straight up don't trust him immediately, DM. So that's on you.
So, you notice that his eyes dart around a little bit, and you do see a bit of sweat running down his face, as if he's a little bit nervous.
He growls, looking towards Zorax, Merl, and the others.
That's usually a sign of don't look at this guy.
The spell, Merl, I looked at the wrong one. It wasn't abjurate. It was some sort of enchantment, which is still not divination.
Okay.
So you don't know what the spell is, but
he-
you know it's some sort of enchantment.
So is he posing as like a holy man, and that's why he's are saying that it's not
No.
divination specifically?
Well, he's not saying that. That's Merl can tell the difference.
Right.
Merl's Arcana check knows what mind reading, detect thoughts is. He knows that the category of spell is divination. This one is an enchantment, which is not what reading minds typically falls under. So Merl knows there's something strange about it being used to read minds. But Merl also isn't all-knowing.
Yep.
He just knows something is strange about it.
But does he relay that, is the question.
He doesn't
Question.
necessarily feel a need to, so no.
He just says it's weird. But
He say, with this spell, I'll be able to see her memories.
Garmor growls
Hey.
again.
He says, somebody put a muzzle on that creature.
He reverts form. Do not trust the word this man says.
You don't have to
He
tell me
threats-
twice.
Do you want to get to the bottom of who this imposter is that is stealing our information or not?
it's probably some Demir where they already have some of our shit anyway. So what are you doing?
I'm
So-called
reading-
leader.
Merl,
I'm reading her mind.
what category
I
spell
am looking
was
at
that?
her memories.
What category
Enchantment.
spell? Enchantment. What
I
do
don't know
reading
anything about
thoughts
magic.
usually entail?
Not that.
Garmor looks.
Not that.
Garmor looks wide-eyed at the Baron. Care to explain that?
We're not just a bunch of
It's like
idiots,
talking
you
to infants.
You're the infant here, you misogynistic jerk!
He reaches out and he grabs something over her head. Do you see this weave? This isn't part of a dominate spell. Somebody is manipulating this woman, and I'm trying to understand. The problem is, it's about to, and it break. And you see her kind of shake loose. This-
Well, that's better.
Oh. Where am I? What? I was. Oh dear, wasn't I just in bed? How did I get? Oh, Mistress Rhea, how did I get? And she's very confused. You fools.
You know, if you were a little more trustworthy in the beginning, maybe not such a prick, maybe we'd trust you more. Something we've
But we
all been
don't.
trying to figure out lately. Shame you didn't get the memo.
At
Well,
which
if you
point-
weren't so ignorant to the ways of the mystic arts, maybe it wouldn't have been a problem. Now we've lost any hope of finding who was enchanting her.
It's not as if we can't just
Pulls
see
his hand away.
So, Echo,
More. Oh, go ahead, Echo.
Echo's waiting outside. Does he see any Demir that he recognizes?
Good question.
Give me an. I'm gonna say no because they're
Okay.
all experts of hiding, especially since they prefer changelings. So I would say you wouldn't unless they
Okay.
wanted you to. That's
I
the
just-
thing with the Demir.
Yeah,
but
I
that's a good
wondered if I
question.
knew, since I am Demir, if I would notice any of them.
No, they'd make an effort to hide. What was that?
We just lost Garmor.
That's probably for the best.
Jesus.
I'm kidding.
They're
I'm kidding.
Somehow my internet blacked out for a moment.
Yeah,
So it's not just me. Then.
Ian's like, I'm done having problems. It's somebody else's issue now.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
It's
So what
good
were
to
you
have
saying,
you
Dio,
back.
for Garmore?
What?
Yeah, what did you need from Garmore?
I don't even remember. What was I saying?
S-
I got distracted.
Doesn't take much.
So, no,
My
I would
bad.
say you don't. Nothing stands out. You see some servants walking around, some soldiers. Nothing that really is eye popping, unless you've got some sort of magic. Do you have detect magic or anything like that?
Me? No, I'm not
Will.
prepared. Oh.
Because
Oh, do I have detect
yeah.
magic?
Sorry,
I
I was
do.
talking to him first.
I don't think I do.
Okay,
I do.
Well, you're. Well, okay, but I'm not talking to you. He's outside,
Fair.
and he was asking if he saw anything. So if he had it available, or I would ask him to use it. You already know there's magic in the room. I gave you an Arcana check to detect it.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't.
And all right. He says, "Well, now we've lost any chance of getting any information from her. Rhea is gone, and the assassin has escaped, and all of you are responsible."
Fat chance.
I didn't
Let us
see
get
you
back to
saving
business.
Rhea.
Let's finish this meeting. We have to deal with this arc light issue before we do not get any chance to get home. Can we at least all agree upon that? He starts looking around the room. Garmore, you notice more sweat running down his face. You don't know if it's an irritation or concern or fear.
You seem to be
He's
sweating more profusely, Baron.
Casting magic takes its toll on you.
I know that all too well as a spellcaster.
Yeah, I bet. You just pray and get your power on.
Who says that I'm a man of the cloth? I'm a man of the nature.
The point is we are running out of time for this Arc Knight Phoenix thing. Are we going to discuss our next steps? Or are we going to let the Rakdos get their hands on one of the things that we need to get us all home? Well,
I'm in agreement, but not with you in charge.
so does Echo want to try to get in on this at any point? Shapeshift into somebody that might be welcome, or does he want to just listen from the outside? I want to make sure you're given an opportunity to.
Yeah,
I mean, you could just show up as Echo.
I did consider that because I can now. Yeah,
Right.
I think I will just kind of like
Show up as
sneak
Echo.
in, not make my presence too obviously known, but kind of just
Give me a stealth check. I imagine the person trying to sneak into the back of church when it's in middle of session right now.
yeah.
The big heavy door that
Yeah.
goes. Everyone's
I rolled a nat
like,
one. I could have failed.
all right. So, as you guys are in this heated debate with this old Baron, you hear as you look over as Echo is sneaking in the room and knocks over a vase and it splatters on the floor. Everyone just kind of turns and looks. Where have you been?
I'm back. I've completed my task that I needed to get done. And
The irony. The irony.
so, what are we all talking about?
Someone tried to assassinate Rhea, and this woman seemed to have either been enchanted or a spy of the Demir.
She tried to kill Rhea?
No, someone else did. But this woman.
Echo's like, wait a minute!
But this woman tried to make off with important documents that Rhea had in her possession. And tried to magically go invisible before Misty stepping away.
You fools, we do not have time for small talk. We have to chase down the Rakdos, or we're
Wait.
going to lose the
He is our most
Arc Light.
important source of information regarding the Demir.
That's fine. Catch up with your friend later. We have to come up with a decision.
The servant teleported. How
How
would the
does a
servant know
servant-
that?
How does a servant know that?
Does Echo recognize her?
if the server was dominated, that doesn't give them access to any spells.
He did read her
No.
thoughts once already.
It doesn't.
In fact, he
Doesn't ring a bell.
And he takes a little pouch of gold dust and casts Greater Restoration on the woman.
Fancy.
Oh.
Something's very wrong, guys. I connect those dots fine. I'm like, a simple servant doesn't know fucking Misty Step.
No.
Okay. So who cast? So what did you just cast on the girl, the lady?
Greater Restoration.
All right.
And he's holding her down. Zorax, help me hold her.
I think we got her in a pretty good hold, I feel like.
Justin's mind is like. "Grrr."
Well, you guys just stumbled onto something I was trying to hang on to.
Yeah,
On an
you
accident.
suck.
Yeah, why are you trying to make this even more difficult for us?
I'm not. You all make it all difficult.
It's true.
I
We're
just
players.
lie-
That's what
I'm
we
just
do.
on. I'm just in the cart along for the railroad ride.
Really, the sexist guy that wants to take over the city's not an issue that you just kind of threw in there.
Wow, I can't believe that he's actually trying to plot against everybody.
It is kind of his job, so I'll give him a break.
Yeah, I mean, yes. He is who he is, I guess. If he wasn't such an idiot, maybe he would have actually made it. Because, wow, we're a bunch of idiots.
Okay.
I could just see Echo taking offense to being called an idiot, but he knocked over a vase trying to sneak into the room, and he's a spy.
We're all not doing so hot right now.
Yeah.
All right. So her body begins to stitch together from the little wound she got from the thorns on.
Well, it's not a
from
healing
the
spell.
vine. Yeah, it heals them from like wounds, and
No,
it
it doesn't.
restores their mind and stuff, doesn't it?
One effect that charmed or petrified the target, one curse, including the target's attunement to a cursed magic item, any reduction to one of the target's ability scores, one effect reducing the target's hit point maximum.
Totally thought that restored limbs and shit.
No, that's
Oh,
regeneration.
that's regenerate. You're right.
Yeah.
Mm,
That was a bunch of mind shit, though, I guess.
well, yeah. Okay.
Well,
all right.
I don't know. That's up to DM. I'm not gonna. Can't railroad us, DM.
No, there's something I'm trying to keep under wraps, and I'm trying to figure out how to get around it without.
Oh,
And I don't
you
know
know
that
what?
I can because
While
y'all
you guys
suck.
are doing that, Echo walks up to Merl and goes, "Hey, it's good to see you alive."
Yep.
Yep, sure is.
Yeah, I missed the afterlife because there's some fun stuff there, but there's work to do here too.
I can see that. Who made that guy in charge? And he kind of like subtly points up to douchebag.
No one.
It's kind of a sticking point right now, actually.
Ah, I see. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. It's a difficult discussion. I don't really have a say in this one, but he kind of sucks.
I don't have a say really, but he's kind of a dick.
Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. It'll just have to be as it is. Cunts.
Huh?
Nothing. It's all fine.
Wow, we outsmart the DM one time. We're all called assholes.
One time, yeah, right. One time, just once. Just
One time.
once. It's never just once. It's always.
Sometimes that's the game.
Yeah. All
Clearly.
right.
I mean, as a spy, it's kind of my job to outsmart people.
Okay. So a green nature-like energy washes over, and she kind of just looks around. She's like, "Oh my, I don't know how I got here. I'm so confused." Baron says, "Woman, Who is manipulating you? She just kind of looks up in confusion, kind of looks around the room. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I just, last I checked, last I knew, I was washing some clothing, about to crawl into bed, and then I found myself here.
I forgot to wash my clothes today.
I know I can smell it, darling, but that's okay.
What spells do you know?
She kind of looks around, just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know magic.
Is she believable?
Oh, Garmore, you can tell that the trebling in her voice, the darting of her eyes around, she clearly is not being 100% truthful.
He increases the pressure that he has for his hold on her. Liar. And when he says that, there's a animalistic growl to it.
She says, she kind of and you hear Baron says, "That's what I'm talking about. Wring that information out of her. She's weak." She says, "Okay, I'm sorry.
Let's start with who do you work for? House Demir? The Rakdos?
She says, No. I serve Uldar Ravengard. I was...
That's
It was
impossible.
important to me.
That's impossible. How is it possible that he still lives when he is dead?
He doesn't live, fool.
How do you serve
Why
a dead
would he
man?
live? I have served him since I was raised in Baldur's Gate and discovered my latent draconic power. He kept me nearby for a few simple reasons. One is my unique talents. Growing up, I wasn't welcomed for my talents. They were too terrifying and I could hurt somebody. Sometimes they just get out of control when I use them. Master Uldar took me in. He gave me a reason to want to serve. He didn't fear the things that happened around me. He embraced it. He said that a world with order still needs a little chaos. And he thought that I might be able to learn to control it, but unfortunately, now that he's dead, I don't know that I ever will. The magic comes at a cost when you can't control it. I'm not very powerful, except for when a surge occurs. Then occasionally. Now that he's gone. I don't know
Echo
what
speaks
I'll
up
do.
and says, maybe one of the lessons he should have taught you is how to not get mind controlled.
Echo, now is not the time.
No,
You
it
know
is the
that-
time.
Magic like that isn't something you can just shrug off, right? I don't know magic to counter stuff like that. Baron says, weak-willed woman, not a surprise.
Weak-willed woman that can... How'd you say she got away?
Misty step and then went invisible.
Oh. Sounds like you know magic.
She's not denying that she knows magic. She's just saying that it's dangerous for her to use.
Does Garmor believe her story about Ravengard?
Judging by the solemn eyes, her solemn eyes, it's one of seriousness and despair, maybe.
mean, it's probably a big shift in comparison to where it was before, where she was rapidly darting eyes around and whatnot.
She was trying to hide the fact, yes.
She was trying to hide her draconic secret. Okay.
What is Merl thinking right now? He's being awfully quiet over there.
Let me just read his schematics.
Oh, he is like debating whether or not to punch the Baron.
It's fair. I thought about stabbing him, but actually,
Side question for that.
I also want to point out, when I said punch, I'm currently wearing a belt of Hill Giant strength that I made. So
That's what I figured. That's what I figured.
Echo brings that conversation back and says, well, I think we have more pressing matters at the moment. She seems to have been under some sort of spell. If we're worried about her, I saw that there were stocks out front with a man in them. We could leave her there.
he has the ability to teleport, unfortunately. Stocks don't really hold.
What have I done to deserve such treatment? Hmm?
You were stealing documents that Rhea was in possession of. Secret.
You have already confirmed that that wasn't me, and her eyes dart over to the Baron. Isn't that correct, Baron?
Gomer looks to the Baron. Where are the documents?
I mean, I have them.
Zorax grabbed him.
Oh. You said the Baron.
She turns to the Baron, and because he said that she was controlled. So he's her kind of proof that it wasn't her, right? Alibi.
Yeah.
She says, you marked me as someone who was being manipulated.
Well, Garmore, I don't think
should
there's
not be held
really...
accountable for my actions during that time.
I'm not one for ethical debates, but I think it is we should just let her go. There's no
I
reason
agree.
to keep her here anyway. She didn't get what she wanted.
Yeah, so everything's on such a tight schedule right now. It needs to happen. Let her go.
In that instant, Garmor thinks to his memories of the loss of control when his wild shape powers first manifested, and he releases his grip of the woman.
She says, look at this. You know how hard it's going to be to get this dog slobber out?
Well, such is a shame when, you know, things are magically involved.
Be grateful that I didn't sink my teeth into your flesh.
I think I'll need a, I think I'll excuse myself. Duke Baron. And she curtsies to him. Grabs some plates, some cups, and heads on out. He says, well,
That's
was exciting. Let us get to the points. We need to assign a team to start acquiring all of the materials Merl is going to need.
All right, I'll ring on it.
Okay.
No, really. Some guy from the Izzet League popped up in my quarters last night, and I gave him a shopping list.
What?
Just because you wrote 3,000 pounds of mithril on a sheet of paper doesn't mean you're going to get it. I think you must be out of it after you come back to life.
I think not, so you shut up, you jackwagon, before I punch you. And I've been holding back from punching you all meeting.
You can certainly try. He stands back and he says, according to these documents...
Oh,
that
I don't try,
herself,
I do.
Are you going to punch him?
Yes, I'm going to punch him.
All right, give me an attack roll.
Guy makes a hard ass, and now we're just going to be violent because we don't like him.
Dang right.
I, the player, could anticipate something, but it really depends on how high Ian rolls.
Well, I'm gonna throw in. Let me see here. Flat. Can I use Flash of Genius on that?
This
You
It's
doesn't
an
look.
attack roll.
You do know that your exhaustion
Yeah, it's
I know.
-3.
resurrection penalty is -3, right?
It's -3. Who
Yes, I do.
cares? He can still give him one good one.
Darn. That does not apply to attacks, but I do still have one of these things. My human.
Human aptitude, I think, right?
Dang right.
Hell
Wait,
yeah.
that can apply to attack rolls?
Sure can. Human aptitude.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right,
humans
that's gonna make
kinda
my
awesome.
total a 22.
I'm sorry. No. Trying to figure. He's got a really big arsenal, so I'm trying to figure out what's more fun.
We just have an impromptu boss fight.
All right.
Just
So
start
as
doing
the oh damn it! What did I do with the? I closed the window with the stat block in it. All right. What did you say it was? 20?
22.
22?
Oh, Ian, we can't see you.
That's probably for the best. You got a face for radio anyway.
Wow.
It's true.
That's one of my. So I've been going through all the. Me and my wife are going through all the show audio clips and stuff. And
That's right. There we go.
one of those is from me looking at the camera saying, "Man, my face looks like crap," and and then Ian just without missing a beat's like, "Well, you do have a face for radio," or some stupid shit like that. Like, God damn it.
So what? That was payback against him?
Yeah, that's the only reason it was in my mind is because I was just listening to it.
And for the record, I still have a plot point left over from the last adventure. I am tempted to burn this plot point just to punch this guy.
Yeah, I had to figure out something out, but yeah. So he holds out his hand, and as your fist comes flying at him, a massive crystalline shield appears, and he kind of smirks as you smash into it, and it cracks and breaks. His face goes from a smirk to a shit moment as you land a solid blow on him. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, it's just 6 damage.
Okay.
It's an unarmed
You
strike,
see
so-
that as you hit him, you notice that he's got another layer of this crystal armor that's just coated on his skin. As that cracks, and he steps back and he takes a moment. It absorbs most of it. He says, with a deep breath, he goes, "Well, that was certainly more impressive than I was expecting."
And half as much as you deserve.
He waves his hand, says a few magic words, reaches inside of his shirt and pulls out a glass bead, and he chants something, and he's informed in this big glass bubble, and he says, "If you're done."
For now. Depends on what you...
Give me an Arcana check if you're trained in Arcana. I think Merl and Echo. I don't
Are
you
know
trained
if
in
Echo
Arcana?
is.
I don't have a. No, I'm not.
Okay.
Okay, even with a -3, that's still 28.
You recognize the spell as Globe of Invulnerability.
Darmore's going to dispel it regardless.
With a flick of what spell are you using? Dispel magic.
Dispel magic, it's 3rd level.
So as your spell, you begin chanting words. His eyes dart over to you, and he gives you the middle finger, and it's counterspelled. As your energy kind of coalesces, and it gets ripped to shreds and sucked into a void. He says, "No. Let us get back to the issue at home. Do you want to get home or not?"
Yes, but not with you in charge.
Oh my
And
God!
stop
I
being a
get
jackwagon.
You don't
How long
deserve
does-
to sit on that throne.
How long does Globe of Invulnerability last, fellas? Zorax kind of wants a piece of this. This is gonna be fun.
Anyway, let's get back on track. He is...
Nope,
Maybe
this
we
is the
can-
track
No.
we're on.
This will not wait.
Anyway,
You already punched the man I wanted.
fair enough.
I'm not sure what I do. All I have is a sword that's real hungry, and I haven't killed someone today, so
not that guy's sword anymore.
But I haven't changed.
Fair enough.
All right, do we need to roll initiative then?
No.
If
Merl
we're
has
preparing to
habits,
fight, I've got some spells I like to cast on myself before it all goes down, but
Well, either we're rolling initiative or we're not. That's what I need to know from them.
Well, it's on my system, so I'm good.
No.
this is a Zorax question.
That's fair.
And Garmor. Garmor is just as heated.
That's
So I
true.
need to know, are we rolling initiative?
What do you think? Should we beat the shit out of this guy? Probably die?
I think we made our point.
He seemed pretty unfazed. I don't know if we really made our point.
Time is of the essence.
But
I
he
do
didn't
not
expect to
want
get punched in the
him in
face
chop.
either.
Osif speaks up. My friends, well, he does deserve good backhand. You also put at risk all of El Toril returning home. I just want you to know that. But I also like you more than him, so he pulls up his ass. Like, just in case.
Echo goes, wait a minute.
There's one solution to this. How about we put it to a vote as to who to nominate and to vote?
Exactly. Thank you.
Democracy? Wow, I can't believe we finally made it there.
My vote is for Spy Master Visanya.
He
Thanks,
says, I will head this meeting. He takes a deep breath.
Who died and made you king?
Oh,
He takes a deep breath.
he really wants to die.
Who died and made you king? I already died once. It was great, honestly.
Chanting a spell. Oh, where is it? Oh, there you
He's-
go. No,
He's
Never
chanting
mind,
a
we're
spell while we're all preparing to fight.
no, we're good. I thought he had something on his spell list, but he doesn't.
I was gonna say.
No, I could just easily put it there, but I'm not going to. Because I know there's somebody's got to be looking at his spell list along with me. All right, so
Not
I
that
say
kind
that
of
we
player.
can put it to a vote for sure. I think this is a good idea.
Is this
He
Osif or the
says-
Baron?
This is
Osif.
the
That's
That's an
and
Osif
then-
voice.
Yeah, that's the Osif, and then he says, "So do I do not need axe?"
No.
Not
Keep
yet.
it on standby, buddy, because I haven't quite had my turn just in case it comes up.
Echo walks over to Osif, pats him on the back, and says, "No good time yet."
No good time yet.
All right, so we got one for
Visanya.
Visanya.
All right, just so we're clear, the options are the Baron, Visanya. Who else?
Osif.
Osif,
No.
any one of you. So we got one for Visanya. And
Two
of
for
course,
Visanya.
two for Visanya. Visanya raises her hand and says, I think that we would best be served. Her eyes dart around. For Baron.
The
What?
woman picks the sexist.
Why? Visanya, why?
That's our vote. Move on.
Yes, let's continue.
I have my secrets.
People and their secrets.
I vote for me.
Then I shift my vote to Zorax.
No. You do not change vote. That is not how it works. I am not smart and I know that. Baron says I vote for myself.
Ah, crap.
I actually just voted for me. I was like,
That is a Zorax thing to
Right?
do. So it's just Osif and Echo then.
Well, technically, there are 5 other people on this council.
Oh, that's true.
Ah,
let me guess, they're all gonna vote you, Baron.
Nope.
Echo's gonna wait.
So you get 3 votes for Osiv. Another one for Zorax.
Ah, crap.
But where do Merl and Galmor's vote go?
I don't know that. I don't think has Merle voted.
Yeah, for the Spy Master.
Oh yeah, for the Spy Master.
Yeah, 2
So we'll
Visanya, 2 Zorax, 3 Osiv, 2 douchebag.
There's 3
Sorry,
for
Baron.
There's 3 for Osiv, 3 for Visanya, 2 for Baron, 2 for Zorax.
So it's a tie between Visanya and Osiv?
Yep.
Did not expect that.
I
And-
rolled. I
I
just
know.
rolled randomly. I'm just like, I don't know who these people are. Let's just go.
And Echo's the last vote, right?
Yep.
Yep. So you can
Um,
between Osiv or Visanya if you want one of them to win, or you can make it a tie with Baron.
Or me.
Oh, boy.
You tie with me?
Echo, Echo looks over at Zorax and goes, as much as I think I could lead a city quite well,
Ha!
my vote.
I see what you did there.
My vote goes to Osiv.
Because this terrible idea. But okay.
But
Let's dump this
okay.
thing.
You're probably right.
He turns and he says to Baron, he says, looks like nobody likes you. Try not to being dick next time. He says, you fools. Do you really think this imbecile can do what is necessary?
Wow.
But
hopefully
I
it's
will
not-
respect the
Insult my
sanctity
boy.
of a vote.
Can I insight check him on that?
Sure.
Osiv's my boy. I'm excited.
Hell
Let me
yeah.
guess. He's the jackwagon, but he's an honest one. Let me guess.
21.
Can also probably be
There's
easily
no
mind
sweat
controlled,
running down his face or anything like that. His face is really relaxed. The tension in his body is gone.
Probably because he thinks he
You-
can mind control him. Because
Or
we
they
chose
can-
some dumbass.
Call that! Did you guys see that?
See, that's why I voted for me. You can't charm my dumbass. I got a sword and a shield in my back pocket.
I somewhat predicted it, but Echo was
I
just
know.
too infatuated with.
Your boy
Osiv.
Osiv.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his boy.
He
He's
says,
gotta vote for him.
Well, now that we're done shaking hands and telling everyone how great I am, how about we focus at problem? Problem right now. Really big douchebags, his eyes dart over to Baron, are going after object we need.
Yep.
We need to get the object. The more we talk, the less gets done. So I would just like to charge right in, I think.
Yep.
So, according to these notes, he starts shuffling through the ones that he grabbed off of from in front of Baron.
Can
He's
Osif
like-
read?
He goes. He hands him over to Visanya. Can you read this for me, please? I think.
I make decision. You read them to me because
He goes, all right.
big word.
And she kind of just whispers to him a little bit. I was like, all right, so here's the plan, I think. According to information, the Selesnian Conclave, the Tree Hugger Friends, it looks like they are doing what they can to find all mithril needed. The Izzet has taken up the responsibility, apparently, and he looks over at Merl, if I understand, to make
I have to be. I'll be right back.
I don't remember what it's called. I gotta go.
Flux
through the show
capacitor?
notes. Yes, they're doing flux capacitor. And then I think last thing.
The
Just
flux
last
dinghy.
What?
Flux dinghy.
Well, what's it called?
I know it's in. I know.
Arclight.
Arclight something. The
Oh,
Arclight.
reactor?
No, not a reactor, but close enough.
Arclight conduit.
That's
Yeah,
the
what it
one.
is.
That word.
Arclight conduit.
So, they are going after the Arclight. I would like the Vindicators to do this thing. Can you do this thing?
We can do the thing.
We
You
need to
got
get
it.
you there. So, to my understanding,
Did Vennac ever come out of the room?
nope.
He just
Totally forgot, to be honest. The
He
door
just slept
comes
through
open and he
60.
comes. He comes in. He goes. You see him like stretching with his armor. He's like, "Sorry, somebody washed my clothes and now they're shrunk. I had to find others." You called? He says, "Yes. What took you so long? We handled bad guy, handled douche. Now I'm running things. What took so long?" He just kind of goes on back and forth and he says, "What can I do for you?"
Garmor approaches Vennac. I have need of a holy water if you have some to spare or to create some.
I needed a
They
piece so
are-
bad. Thank you.
They are a means of a material component for a spell that I can cast once per day. It is necessary for us, for we have to go to acquire something that will help us get us home.
Okay, I can certainly do that. He starts rifling through some of his stuff. You see him grab a religious holy symbol that looks very much like a big hammer and a fist holding a hammer.
Garmor
It's
also
like,
pulls out the two-use
That doesn't work.
the two-use bottle of the holy water. See, the conclave gave me 2 uses of it for the spell. So I've used only half of this.
Well, I definitely can do this. It'll take 1 hour to perform the ritual. I think I've got the powdered silver, so it shouldn't be an issue.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like I got probably enough to make 2 vials worth, 2 doses worth. So it'll be 50 Ethereum materials. So, but other than that, I think I can do that. I'll get on that and have that ready for you shortly. What?
Nothing. Just realized the cost.
Each one's 25 Ethereum. Is that Electrum? Electrum.
Electrum.
Gotta stop following crypto crap. All right, he says, all right.
It sounded right to me because I'm used to it, but
Osiv turns to everyone and says, "We will gather information, and we will have you set out. To me, and Merl, correctly if I'm wrong, you mentioned something about teleportation. I think that would be best bet. If you die, I'm sorry."
Won't be the first time.
Okay. Well, gather your things, head over to the Izzet Guild, get to this Arclight Phoenix thing, I think, and get its core, whatever it is you need to make it get us home. This is
Yeah.
important.
Osif,
Echo
what it's worth?
Sifasanya. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Merle.
Start
Yeah.
with Merl.
Orsif, for what it's worth, by your own admission, you may not have much brains, but you have a lot of sense.
What?
And people
I don't
respect
smell
you enough.
nothing.
I know.
Echo looks to Vasanya and asks, "Do you know exactly what we need from this Phoenix and how to take it?"
According to the intelligence, no.
Okay.
Will likely need to be harvested from it while it's still alive.
Eh,
Because the spark will go out if the creature is dead when you remove it.
So we need to capture it.
Well, you still need to remove its core, but it just needs to be alive while you do it. So I think what she's trying to say, if you chop off head, core no good. Take out core
Hey.
while head's still attached.
I do appreciate that, Osif. Thank you. Or I guess I should say Duke Osif.
Oh. I
I
don't
like
know that I
this.
like that.
I like this.
Duke. I don't like Duke. Don't do that. I'm not Duke.
It's up to you. You're in charge.
You call me King.
Oh,
King
King
also.
Osif.
I like that. It sounds good.
Well,
I
then,
need a hat now.
They might be able to
Metal
make
one.
you one.
I need this thing. I should go say hi to my people.
No, Astro to make a hat for you. I'm sure it's up his alley.
I'm sure I can do that thing. So, let us quickly review. You are to approach the Izzet, find out if they can help you, transport you to, or as close as they can get you to this area of the Maze of the Shattered Soul, wherever this is at. If their technology works, you should be able to close the gap that we've lost from what they've gathered, that they've gained on us. But I can't imagine it would be by much. So in either way, if you have to go through this maze, you're likely still going to be in competition with the Emerald Claw, who are clearly working for the Rakdos and potentially others. We don't know. So my words of wisdom to you are, whatever you do, if you have to, you do what you have to do to make sure that nobody else gets that core. If they harvest it, you better take it. If you can't harvest it and they're going to take it, destroy it and we'll do something else. Of all the guilds, we cannot afford to let Rakdos deal with this. Do you understand? Osif
Yes.
turns and says, I thought I am king.
Right.
you are
It's
King
okay.
Osif.
You be my advisor, I think. We could do this thing.
We could do this.
I'm like, wow. Let's do this. All right.
How
And I
long
think
is
that's
it?
where
Do
we're
we
gonna
know
end it.
how long the Baron has been? Has he always been here?
Yeah.
Nobody's asked, but he's been part of the thing the whole time.
Yeah.
He's part of the council.
Which means the Grand Duke relied on him, but he's also a powerful wizard with 9th level spells, so... Can I just be honest with you guys for a second?
You.
I wanted you to attack him.
I
Because
was
I wanted to
very
banish
close.
your bitch asses back to Toril.
I wouldn't have got to go.
I was just like, man. I mean, it's nothing. All right, that'll be our game for today. Honestly, we didn't do anything I had planned at all.
Which means you can save it for next week.
I do, and that makes it a lot easier, actually. Because I got everything written out for getting 2 of the items. So, but this was fun. I really had a blast. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed watching.
I hate
can't-
that guy so much.
I can't believe Raven chose out of all the fucking times. Oh, there's chaos happening. I was like, you dumb motherfucker.
Hey, as far as that goes concerned, this was the best session. I mean, Osif is king. He got out of that scot-free. I mean, smooth things over with Garmor. This was like Echo session for sure.
Also, for those in the chat,
Until Justin looked at me like that. Now I'm not thinking so much.
we have like a little chat we use, and we were like, do we just send our assassin guy to kill this guy? And everyone's like, but 9th level spells. I'm like, I'm just saying, if he's asleep and poisoned, it's a lot harder to speak and use your components correctly if he just gets stabbed. Assassins do.
All
You
right,
never plan
let's
anything
go.
like that.
Let's go around the table and tell us what we liked about tonight's session. Kathy or anybody else in the chat, Garwin, DJ Mike, let us know what you guys liked. Let's start with Will, since it's all about Will.
Well, not all about Will. I just, I had a good night. Echo had a good night.
Echo had a very successful night.
I mean, I did hand over leadership of the city. That's true. But I got to hand it over to Osif, and so I'm not too upset about it.
Yeah, he's gonna get mind controlled. It's gonna be a horrible time.
Yeah, I know.
When I was like, man, we chose this guy.
And I really appreciate everybody for watching.
Yeah, me too. Austin?
Oh man, where do I begin? Everything was fucking funny. Man, everything was on board for me. I was like, man, we're really doing this. We're really planning an assassination plot that is supposed to fail. I'm so on board with this shit.
Dude, when you guys were having that little conversation back and forth and capturing the little servant, I was like, this is the time. Raven's going to attack. And I was like, yes! But y'all still foiled my shit. Which was great. So.
One, it's awesome that I got to see Raven again. I just haven't played him in a very long time. It's been years, and he is such a goon. He doesn't care about anything. That's kind of part of the fun. Whereas Zorix is like a very convicted man. Raven is the polar opposite. He's like, fuck it, yeah, I'm in.
You really went in opposite direction. You definitely did that.
But definitely the whole like, Zorix is looking up like, is this the time? I guess so. Banish that guy, looks over, he's like, there's this person wanting to steal shit too, everything's on fire, and he's like, stop, you need to be stopped. And he looks over at Raven, he's like, I hope to God you can get out. He's like, bye. I was like, everything went well on my end. The whole Baron thing was kind of a mess. I wanted to kill that guy. Real this close. I was gonna stab him, but I was like, probably shouldn't.
I was waiting, dude. I was plotting out how I was gonna deal with you all, and the first thing that came to mind was time stop and banishment.
I'm curious, who do you think was gonna throw the first swing?
I really thought Garmor was actually gonna be like, "Fuck it, I'm done being nice. I'm about to break this guy." He's
honestly,
me off.
I was kind of feeling the Garmor heat. I wasn't gonna lie. I was like, "This guy's really gonna throw some hands." And Merl stepped up like, "Hey, yo, what up?"
The spellcaster wizard, man,
came up and hit him in the head.
Yep.
Kathy really liked the moment where they were questioning. Nobody asked her name either. Like I had the name all picked out in a nice little description, and like nobody asked.
We had way too many things on our plate to worry about a name.
There was a lot going on in a little council room.
Yeah. I mean, I asked if I knew her, so at least I tried to not be sexist.
Yeah. Ian?
Unlike some people.
Again, I'm Ian. I was playing the role of Merl, and not gonna lie, my favorite part was punching the Baron. Wasn't necessarily trying to hurt him as much as take him down a peg.
Dude, I couldn't believe you cracked through his shield. I was just like, damn it. He's got mage armor on and shield, and he still just plowed through it. You're a wizard, aren't you, or an artificer?
He's an artificer with some hill giant belts, but you know.
Oh yeah, that's what did it. I was like, man, why did it help me hit?
And that was human aptitude as well too, cause worth it.
Oh, right. And last and certainly least, I mean not least, our buddy Garmor.
Hello everyone, my name is Matthew and I played Garmor, the
excuse me,
guy who hates the Baron now because of his sexist remarks. There's a bit to that, but sorry. But yeah, this was an interesting session considering we've gone this long.
It went nowhere I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah.
Zero.
What I liked about this session was that I managed to have Garmor come to a level playing field with Echo, and hopefully that becomes successful in the end.
Everyone can't see it, but the entire time I'm in private chat, I'm like, Echo, stab him! He needs changeling, stab him! Of course, I was just kidding.
Right.
So I enjoyed hearing a little bit about a lot about your story. Thank you for sharing that. I want to give a huge shout out to myself for being awesome. I nailed it, I think.
You did slip up pretty hard, and you had to sit for 5 minutes. Like, damn, I fucked up.
Well, so I didn't want. So I have a position for that woman. What she's supposed to do, and the fact that she's a wild magic sorcerer is not supposed to come out until much later, when it's an accident. And you all like, shit, how did she use magic? I'm like, fuck, and now I gotta explain it. I'm like, damn it. And I was so upset by that. I was like, oh my god, I had this big. Doesn't matter.
I thought it was draconic.
Huh?
She said she was draconic in nature, but it came out
She
in
said
surges. But it was that part
It was
is
wild. It was
Yeah.
wild magic.
Oh,
It
so
was the
it's
surging
like
and
of
random
wild and
part.
draconic ancestry.
No, it's wild magic sorcerer, but her power comes from draconic history. It's just not the player mechanic draconic history, right?
Ah,
Yeah.
So it's more thematic and backstory than.
Yep, than
Exactly.
anything else, but that's got a whole nice little character set up for her, and
Also, everybody in chat, you're welcome to join our I Hate the Baron Club that we're starting up pretty soon.
oh yeah, we're gonna start giving out badges.
And you
Yeah,
know
Eric-
what? What I'm picturing is like Joram, who I just pictured just being a fine. I was like, I'm so gonna screw with the Baron's food from here on out with precipitation.
It's
Oh
going.
my
to
god! Every
smell
time
like
he
poop.
eats something, it tastes like. All
The
right,
dude's gonna be anorexic by the time we return.
all right. Let's close out here. I want to thank everyone for joining us. I am the host of one of the 3 hosts of the Dungeons and Dragons discussion talk show, Crit Academy.
Yep.
Please come and join us. We're on most Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's a holiday week, so we're not going to be on in 2 days, but still, you can go back, listen to our podcast, all that stuff. We are also publishers, and we've been making lots of fun content. So if you want to check out some of our content, you can pick up our new Extraordinary Expeditions book. Right here, it's lots of fun adventures. If you like the stories that we're telling in our game, consider checking this out because I write both of them. So
Yep, and another shameless plug. Next Thursday's Clash of Classes, and Matt here, he's gonna be a competitor.
is he?
If my schedule allows it.
He's a working
fair.
man now. You need to let us know ahead of time so we can get a replacement.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll know tomorrow as soon
That's
as
fair.
possible.
Okay. All right, that'll do it. Definitely check out Class of Classes. It's a lot of fun. I had a blast with you. There goes the
Check out our previous matches in case mine doesn't pan out too well.
Oh yeah, rebrand.ly/layperview. All right, we'll see you guys later. Keep your blade sharp and spells prepared, heroes.
That friend.